Welcome in, Blink. Welcome in, Blink. Let's stop being slow, computer. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Alright. I need to get a mouse. Getting a mouse would be way easier. And another keyboard. What's that guy's name? Yeah, I don't think that they we'll see. Alright, so how is the camera doing? Let's see. Bop, bop. Are we doing good? I just want to make sure that the cam here doing doing all right. All right. Hopefully everything's good. Let's see, how's my mouth sounding here on the camera? Doing all right. All right. Hopefully everything's good. All right. Cam seems good. Everything seems all right. All right. So yesterday, Candace Owens posted on Twitter that something was going to be huge on the video she drops. And I only watched a little bit of it. A lot of it was interesting. But it's like, dude, you're not dropping like the biggest bombshells. I wish you would stop posting like, hey, you know, tonight I'm dropping a big bombshell and everything's gonna be changed and this, that, and the third. So we'll go over some things quick. We'll go over Candace. Probably first. It was such a short stream, 57 minutes, I think it was. But one thing I want to talk about too is Sean Ryan's interview yesterday was. Sean Ryan's interview yesterday was interesting, we'll say. I'm assuming that the guy that, was on Charlie's team was the whole, a part of his security. I'm assuming he was a part of the military, obviously, right? A lot of these guys are from the military, then they get contracted out. into these security companies. Don't know how the Sean Ryan show acts if I react to his video. Um, because I would really like to. Basically, like watching it, it was interesting. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, by the way. But watching it, it was like interesting. It was like okay. I was wondering like, is Sean gonna push back because he knows things? He knows certain things. Is he gonna is he gonna kind of push the line when it comes to certain narratives and be like, yeah, is this what happened or this doesn't seem right, right? Um, I don't really know what to say when it comes to that. I watched it yesterday, and a lot of it was just like, bruh. Um, Welcome in, Fox. I expected him to kind of push back more. Like when I was listening to him talk to this guy, his name's what? Brian Harpool. Is that what his name is? Let's see. I figured maybe it would be a bit more. Yeah, Brian Harpool. I figured it'd be a bit more like pushbacky, right? If that's a word. So he was talking about like what happened that day when Charlie was shot and things of that nature, and he was asking him some questions, and I found on one part of the episode when he asked the security guard, right? Because the security guy seems genuine. He's talking about what's going on and what happened, and you think that he's being sincere. And a lot of the time, in a lot of the moments, I feel he was. I feel he was being very sincere. I feel he was doing his due diligence of explaining certain things. But when it got to a moment where Sean Ryan said, "Did Charlie Kirk have a pulse?" Right? He almost slipped up. He was like, "Yeah, he was about to answer. Then he reminded himself, no, I better not answer that. It's going to be a bit too controversial if I answer that because there's too many narratives out there, right? There was a narrative that he didn't have a heartbeat. There's no possible way. Then there was a narrative that they put out saying he did have a heartbeat and a pulse when he got to the hospital. He ended up saying, well, I was packing him full of gauze, packing his neck. I had the machine to look at his pulse, but it wasn't necessary at the moment when we were working on him. We were on the highway, right, flying to the hospital basically in the vehicle. He said he ended up packing like 43 feet of gauze into his neck. He would pack it, it'd get too damp. He'd replace the packing. Um, it says I can go over the Sean Ryan interview, so we'll do that. We'll go over that after this. There is riots in Israel. There's riots in Mexico. Went over that yesterday. Epstein files, are those going to come out? Right? So they voted on that last night. Let's see. Didn't they? Let's see. Is that today or okay? So there is something being spoken on this as well. Well, we'll watch that first. Let's watch that first. Then we'll get into the Candace Owens video. Um, yeah, hopefully they release the files, man. It's just getting to be a bit much when it comes to us waiting, man. I mean, fuck, they released what 20,000 it was, and then it was this or that, and like, dude, just release them. Like, get it done. We're tired of waiting. You want the American people to trust you? Release them. Think about it. We got the Epstein files. People are waking up to Israel and what's going on in our government and foreign policy and everything else. We got Charlie Kirk, the investigation in Charlie Kirk, how shady it's all seeming. So there's a lot of things going on. Now, one thing I must say, we're going to get into this first. We'll get into the Epstein thing first. We'll listen to this. But one thing I do want to say is that when I was watching Sean Ryan's video, when he was releasing, or when he was interviewing Brian Hooper, or whatever the fuck his name is, I keep forgetting. Something. When he was interviewing the security guy from Charlie Kirk's security team. Or no, fuck. I'm okay. That's not what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, I can't even get out. I'm sorry I'm late on stream today. I brought my daughter to the dentist. She got a filling. Um, so Candace Owens was going over something, and she said that we missed something, right? We thought that the Egyptian jets were following Charlie Kirk. Apparently, they were following Erica. 72 times they overlapped. All over the country, let alone all over the country, but all over the world, right? So that's interesting. We'll get into that. But let's get into this Epstein stuff quick. We'll watch a little bit of this, then we'll jump into the Candace thing, then we'll jump out of it, then we'll go into the Sean Ryan interview with Charlie Kirk's security guy, then we'll go out of that, and then we'll go back into the Epstein stuff, then we'll get into the riots in Israel over them wanting to open up an investigation until October 7th, because I'm sure they're mad, right? People in Israel are probably mad, correct? Because if they're finding out, whoa, wait. And this isn't alleged. This is like out there facts. Whoa, wait. At 9 o'clock, about 9 o'clock, they said no guards, no soldiers are to be at this area of the border where Hamas happened to come in, right? This is all facts. This is all out there. And if they're finding all this stuff out, like the Hannibal Directive and how there was a proposed peace plan. It was like either October 8th or October 10th from Hamas saying, hey, we'll give back all the hostages, just please don't bomb us to smithereens, right? And it was denied. I mean, so if they're figuring all this stuff out over there in Israel, you think that they're not mad? They were already trying to get a change in the government and already rioting before October 7th happened, right? There was a lot of stuff going on in Israel that people don't talk about before October 7th happened. The people were not happy with their government. So, I digress. Let's watch a little bit of this. Let's get into this, and then we'll get into some other stuff. If you guys want to send, we'll start a super. It's going to let me do it. We'll start a 5 super chat goal, teal or higher, $5 and higher. We'll do it for about an hour. We'll do it for 2 hours. Get your name on the donor wall if you guys want to show some support to the channel. No, actually, speaking of too, one thing I want to cover is, by the way, yesterday, you remember when I was speaking on my best friend and how his sister has been missing and she's presumed unalived? And the alleged person to have done it, which everyone knows there's waiting for more evidence, right? Like, it's pretty obvious who did it. Like, it's one of those domestic violence type situations. Everyone knew that her baby daddy did it, right? Feds knew it. Everybody knew it, because when you do something on the reservation, guess what? It's federal. That's why the FBI always comes out here when something happens. If there's an unaliving or there's this or there's that, the FBI always comes. Now, when these guys are doing their drugs and they're around here and they're doing their little degenerate shit, they end up all over the place. I mean, they'll go from here to Grand Forks to pick up their supply, come back here, from here to Fargo. Like, they're everywhere, right? So in this 1.5 year search, 2 year search, they have not been able to locate Gemini. Her name is Gemini Posey. Look her up. And while all this was going on and people were looking for Gemini, and this guy's name is D'Angelo Hunt, the gentleman who is alleged to have unalived her, while they're looking for this girl, my best friend's sister, D'Angelo's brother is attempting to come out. He was scheduled to talk to the police, scheduled to talk to somebody, and they found out. D'Angelo found out. You want to know what he did to his brother? Well, let's take a good old look. His brother went missing, right? And everybody's like, well, what the fuck? Like, if people didn't think that it was D'Angelo before, people are certainly going to think it was him now, because now his brother's missing, right?
D'Angelo Hunt.
And they're looking for Gemini, and they're getting together. They're doing, because in the reservations, it's very difficult to get the police to want to do anything. So the families get together. They have these big group searches, and they look. They have been unable to locate Gemini or Isaac. Now, let's listen to this, and I'll continue my monologue.
So St. Michael, North Dakota has now D'Angelo Hunt.
Look at this little piece of crap down here. Just had a child with his baby mama. The kid's turning like 2 years old. He was out here chasing minors, exposing himself to people, beating people up for asking, where's Gemini? This poor lady, seen him downtown, asked him, hey, where's Gemini? Like, where's she at? You disgusting scum. And he beat her. What did the cops do? Nothing until they seen him in a store, and then they arrested him. But what'd they do with him? They let him go. To me, it's like, God, he must be snitching. Because they let him, thank you, by the way, Mark, I appreciate you. They let him go for a police chase. He led the police on a chase. Oh, I'll show you. He beat women. He was messing with minors. And he just got released and released and released. All while the feds are watching him. They found his brother, who was going to come speak out about what happened with him and Gemini, my best friend's sister. One of my good friends. So let's listen to what happened. Where they found him, what happened.
So St. Michael, North Dakota has now been charged with second-degree murder in federal court in the death of his brother, Isaac Hunt, back in March of 2024. According to court documents, the two were fighting. Then reading from the complaint here, on November 15th, last Saturday, during a community search for Isaac Hunt, family members identified what appeared to be a human skull behind Hunt and Isaac Hunt's father's residence. The family provided information that D'Angelo Hunt had been staying at the father's residence for the past 10 days. Law enforcement was notified and the scene was secured. On November 16th, members of the FBI Evidence Response Team conducted a search of the area pursuant to a search warrant. Additional human remains were recovered during the search. The shoes and clothing items present on the remains were consistent with the items Isaac Hunt was described by witnesses wearing at the time he was last seen back in March of 2024. The officer also observed them to be the same shoes and jeans Isaac Hunt was wearing on footage from his grandmother's nearby home on March of 2024. The officer, FBI agent, received records from that confirmed it was Hunt's father's residence, where the incident involving a knife and human remains were recovered. D'Angelo Hunt had a cut on his hand after he admitted fighting with his brother. Again, D'Angelo Hunt now charged with second-degree murder in the death of his brother, Isaac Hunt. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNews.tv.
Now you see this guy's face? R.I.P. to Isaac on the top left. You see the guy on the bottom right? Now I'm about to go on my tangent before we get into this stuff on the other side, but damn it, I'm going to use my platform I'm building and growing to cover what's going on around me and around my area. As you guys know, you guys don't know, I live around somewhere in this side of the map. Where he was found is not too close or too far from me. Where's Gemini, Isaac? D'Angelo? Where's she at? You scum. Oh, ho, 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 you best believe I will be calling to get those court documents. And you best believe I will be calling to get every freaking transcript that comes out. Because we are going to expose you for what we know you are in this town. You have been running around this town terrorizing people for way too freaking long. My best friend's mom lives right across the street from me, the mother of the girl that you allegedly unalived. I have to say that on the internet. You allegedly unalived your own brother because he was going to come out because he couldn't hold it anymore. Because of what you did to the mother of your child. Now you know what's sad? Is now the child doesn't have either parents. And I hope you rot in jail. You want to know what? Federal prison's no fun. And I can't wait for them to see your tattoos. Can't wait. Where are you going to get sent? Hope it's the worst prison. My thing is how would the FBI go out there and search and look for these people, but yet this gentleman was found right behind his father's home? And why is the father not arrested? You're telling me that he didn't know? You're telling me that he didn't know that his son's remains were behind his house? You ever go out to this reservation, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say these things. I frequent out there often when it comes to certain things. And I have. I cannot wait till they find Gemini. There needs to be peace brought to my bro's family. I talk to their mother every day. It is destroying her. And for this guy right here down on the right, I hope you get everything to the fullest extent of what's coming to you. From the law, of course, right? This has been an ongoing thing in my town for about a year and a half now. This man just walking around free, the police letting him go. Even we're hanging up posters asking where's Gemini and where's Isaac, and people are tearing them down. He's tearing them down. I cover a lot of things on this channel. I follow a lot of stories on this channel. And damn it, I am growing this channel big. And I'd be damned if I don't cover what's going on in my own community and my family. This guy down here is a demon. Picking on girls. I called him out on Facebook. Pick on someone your own size. I hope they find Gemini soon, because if he was dumb enough to hide this poor guy's body behind his dad's house, she's got to be somewhere close to. And damn it, we're going to find her. Isaac, if you ever see this video, or I mean, not Isaac, D'Angelo, if you ever see this fucking video, I tell you what, buddy. You're lucky you didn't see me around here. Or a lot of other people. And your reign of terror and terrorizing is done. And I hope you have a good time in federal prison for the rest of your life. And I hope every single thought that goes through your head, especially of your daughter being out here motherless and fatherless due to your own selfish actions, and I hope it haunts you. Because you, my friend, are the definition of a person that needs to be taken off the streets and put in a penitentiary like you're about to be in. You know how bad Gemini loved you? So much that she kept going back to you even though you were abusing her. Now, before I say anything further and probably get myself in trouble, let's get into the Candace string. R.I.P. to Isaac Hunt. And rest in peace to Gemini. It's men who can't control their emotions and who are children on the inside are the reason that shit like this happens. I'm going to go fill my coffee and then we'll go ahead and continue this. Because you know how YouTube is, cop. That's why. You know how YouTube is. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, show some love and support, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. If you guys want to get your name on the donor wall, send through your super chats. YouTube does take a brutal 30%, so go ahead and hit the description, 3 dots above my head, or if you're on the computer, just scroll down to the description, copy and paste, or click the link into your browser. Send your money that way. You don't have to, just your likes and your subscriptions are enough. Yeah, I wish people like that guy would come across a real man like me. Or someone else that is a real man. And try that shit with me or them. How could you do that to your own brother, bro? And your baby mama. So you did what you did to your baby mama. You and your brother got into a fight about it. He was going to come out and say something, and you did something to him. then they picked you up in Grand Forks when you frequent Devil's Lake. I've been waiting to see you around, bro. Oh, we all know what you're doing in Grand Forks, right? At least anyone from around here does. Sick and tired of people who are fucking just not good people. All right, guys. I love you. I'll stop rambling. Let's get into it. We're going to kind of run through this Candace Owens clip or stream. Then I want to get into the Sean Ryan stream where he's interviewing Charlie Kirk's security member. Get into the Epstein stuff. Things like that. Or wait, no, we were going to get into the Epstein thing first, weren't we?
Literally set up an island of rape, a rape island. And you had rich and powerful men, some of the richest people in the world, who thought that they could hang out with bankers, buy off politicians, and abuse and rape America's girls with no consequence. Because survivors spoke up, because of their courage, the truth is finally going to come out. And when it comes out, this country is really going to have a moral reckoning. How did we allow this to happen? There should be no buildings named after people in this Epstein class. There should be no scholarships named after them. They shouldn't be enjoying the perks of being affiliated with corporations or universities or writing op-eds or being lionized. And many of the survivors will tell you some of these people still are celebrated in our society. That's disgusting. There needs to be accountability. I want to recognize first and foremost the survivors. They are the ones who made today possible. Many of you had forgotten about this issue, and frankly, for decades, we have not done enough about this issue. And it's only because of their advocacy, them coming here to the Capitol. They showed up here time and again, and on September 3rd, that the country started to pay attention. And I also want to thank the courage of two of my colleagues in particular. Both of them have suffered, as you know, extraordinary political consequences for what they did. One, my colleague, Congressman Thomas Massie. This would not have been possible if he hadn't led the discharge petition that got...
Yeah, shout out Thomas Massie, man. Just outstanding.
218 signatures and is going to force a vote in the House of Representatives. And this would not have certainly been possible if it were not for the courage of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She signed the petition, and I would keep texting Thomas, is she going to drop off? Is she going to drop off? Because there was so much pressure against us, so much attacks against her. But she stood with the survivors. For Thomas or me, this has never been political. This is not about questions of Trump or Biden. This is a question of doing the right thing for survivors. We're going to get a vote today. I expect an overwhelming vote in the House of Representatives, and I don't want the D.C. swamp playing any games. They need to pass this in the Senate, and they should not amend it. President Trump has said he would sign the EPSTEIN Transparency Act. It's going to get overwhelming support in the House. It should go straight to the Senate.
Okay, so think about this. We have an island, right, where we found that there was a bunch of children being assaulted, right, with Epstein. Bunch of billionaires from all over the world, leaders and, you know, people from the government, stuff like that. We have to make a fucking Epstein, like, what do you call it? What was it?
Act. It's going to get it. President Trump has said he would sign the EPSTEIN Transparency Act.
The EPSTEIN Transparency Act. Why not just drop it? Like you're yeah. So we had to make an Epstein Transparency Act so we can be transparent about the Epstein files and the island where thousands of children were assaulted, and because we put it off for years, and now we're finally going to be transparent with you and put it out. We had to vote on it, guys. We had to vote on whether or not we were going to release it. What am I hearing? Like this is why no one trusts our government right here.
It's going to get overwhelming support in the House. It should go straight to the Senate, and it should be signed. No amendments, no adding loopholes. Justice is long overdue. And I want to hand it over to my colleague, Representative Thomas Massey.
I want to start by thanking the survivors. I mean, they're giving everybody hope in this country. There are survivors of other sex crimes in this country wondering if they should come forward. They're clouded with shame and concerned that law enforcement will do nothing. And these survivors have stepped forth, taking that same risk, worried that they will be defamed themselves. They have been defamed for stepping forward. But we're going to get justice for them. That's going to happen today in the People's House. The founders set up our government with 3 branches and 2 branches of Congress. And I don't think it's any coincidence that this fight is being started and it's being won in the House of Representatives. I have people, other survivors of other sex crimes, who come to me and say, thank you. You give me hope. You give us hope. There is hope here. We fought the president, the Attorney General, the FBI Director, the Speaker of the House, and the Vice President to get this win. But they're on our side today, though. So let's give them some credit as well. They are finally on the side of justice. And as Rose said, don't muck it up in the Senate. Don't get too cute. We're all paying attention. If you want to add some additional protections for these survivors, go for it. But if you do anything that prevents any disclosure, you are not for the people and you are not part of this effort. Do not muck it up in the Senate. So with that, I just want to say I am hopeful too. I didn't know that we would succeed when Roe and I started this effort. Most discharge petitions never make it, maybe only 4%. So we had long odds. But we had some brave women on the Republican side. My colleague Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them who's here with us today. You cannot even imagine the consequences that they have suffered. My colleague Lauren Boebert and my colleague Nancy Mace, they stood so strong. They put their names on a document in here, and then they were pressured in ways that you cannot even imagine, and they stood strong. And that's why we're here today. And they didn't take us seriously over at the executive branch or in the Senate because they always thought they could flip one of these women. They could convince them or cajole them or intimidate them into taking their names off of this petition. But they did not succeed. This is a victory for those women and women all over the country today, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. With that, I want to introduce my colleague, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Welcome in, Michael.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Ro.
We're just going over this for now, and then we're going to get into the Candace Owen stream from yesterday. Then we're going to get into the Sean Ryan podcast that he did with the Charlie Kirk security member, and then, yeah.
I woke up this morning and I turned to my weather app to check the temperature, and it was 32 degrees. And my first thought was, hell has froze over. I want to speak goodness and love and hope into the women standing behind me and all of the other survivors whose names you don't even know, but stand with these women. They are survivors, and they are strong, and they are courageous, and they are daughters of God. They are not victims. These women have fought the most horrific fight that no woman should have to fight, and they did it by banding together and never giving up. And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that.
Double tap your screens, guys.
While I want to see every single name released so that these women don't have to live in fear and intimidation, which is something I've had a small taste of in just the past few days, just a small taste. They've been living it for years. But the real test will be, will the Department of Justice release the files? Or will it all remain tied up in investigations? Will the CIA release the files? Will a judge in New York,
Will people be prosecuted? Trump, anyone else that is on there that had assaulted a child or assaulted a person? Will anyone be prosecuted? That's my question. Are we going to finally send the criminals within our governments to jail?
New York release the information. That's information that needs to come out. And will the list of names that these women privately hold, and they hold it because of their fear in their heart of what would happen to them if they release it on their own, will that list of names come out? That's the real test. So I want to thank Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna for your bravery in
37 more people need to double tap their screens. We'll be at 150 likes. Thank you guys so much.
Crossing the political aisle that has become bigger than the Grand Canyon in America. But these men crossed that aisle on behalf of these women. And that is more of what is needed today in America than ever in our history. So thank you so much. Who's next? Ro, I'll let you introduce.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marjorie, Representative Green, for your courage and your words. Before I introduce our survivors, I just want to say that they will make their statements, and then you can ask questions of Representative Massey, myself, or Representative Green, but we do not want people asking questions and cross-examining the survivors. They're here to tell their stories, and they should be heard by the American people with respect. Of course, Congressman Massey, myself, and Congresswoman Green would be happy to answer questions after that. With that, let me introduce the survivor who's helped organize a lot of this, and will be telling her own story and introducing.
Yeah, I see. I hear what you're saying. Good time, but it doesn't matter. Let it all crash. Like I said yesterday, rip off the Band-Aid, let the scam form. Straight up. We need to get these parasites out of our government. Out of political power, out of any place of power, Hollywood, music, anywhere. Needs to be done. Welcome in, everybody that's new to the chat. Gail, welcome in. I hope everybody's having a good day. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, show some love and support. Let's try and hit 100 likes before it's almost 11. Let's try and hit 100 likes before 11:30 or quarter after 11.
The other survivors. Haley Robson, thank you for your courage and leadership.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Oh, good morning. It's a little chilly coming from Florida. Not used to it. I want everybody to take a look. I know everybody sees us today as grown adults, but we are fighting for the children that were abandoned and left behind in the reckoning. This is who you're fighting for. This is who Congress is fighting for. This is who the House of Representatives are fighting for, and hopefully the Senate will fight for us too. I want to kick this off right, and I want to address Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, and Ro Khanna. I want to express my gratitude for all three of you, and I know, Ro Khanna, we spoke earlier. This is an incredible thing that I'm watching as a Republican, and this is non-political, but for you to go against your own party and to be ostracized, there's no place for political violence, there's no place for intimidation, and I can say firsthand, stepping out against Epstein and his crimes against children, we have all experienced that ourselves. So for you to knowingly put yourselves at risk and put your career at risk is...
The whole fact that we had an island where all this took place, and it got caught, and then Epstein he unalived himself in jail, and we have these files and thousands of victims. The fact that we have to vote to get it, to reveal it, is wild. Like, what? That's like saying that there was a bunch of victims at this house, this house over here across the street, 12 people, and we have to vote to let out what happened. Like, oh my God.
Believable to watch, and we are so grateful. I also want to make a proposition for Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you've been an advocate for this. If you decide to read those names on the House floor for immunity, I will be more than happy No security needed. I will stand beside you. I will hold your hand. I will hold your coat in solidarity with you. And on top of that, I did talk to Jayapal, who said she would be more than happy to read those names too on the floor with all of us. It's time that we put the political agendas and party affiliations to the side.
Good.
This
Yes.
is a human issue. This is about children. There is
You hear what she is saying? This is a human issue. God damn it. Fuck politics. The left, the right, throw them away, throw them aside. Like, what? This is a human issue. This is an issue with us humans that we need out. This is an issue that has to do with having a heart, having morals, caring about your fellow man and woman. But we have to vote to release it. Man, get the fuck out of here.
no place in society for exploitation, sexual crimes, or exploitation of women in society. There's no room for it, guys. We're not having it. And to the President of the United States of America, who is not here today, I want to send a clear message to you. While I do understand that your position has changed on the Epstein files, and I'm grateful that you have pledged to sign this bill, I can't help to be skeptical of what the agenda is. So with that being said,
Yo, I like this woman. I like this woman right now. Exactly, Mikes. We're gonna vote in the House to reveal the crimes. Like, holy shit, dude, it's just wild. But I like this woman, man. I like what she's saying. I like how she's conducting herself. This is a boss lady right here.
I want to relay this message to you. I am traumatized. I am not stupid. I am traumatized. I am not stupid. You have put us through so much stress, the lockdowns, the halt of these procedures that were supposed to have happened 50 days ago. The Adelita Grijalva who waited to get sworn in and then get upset when your own party goes against you because what is being done is wrong. It's not right. For your own self-serving purposes, this is America. This is land of the free. Land of the free. In 1863, we have a woman on top of the Capitol building represent freedom. I do not feel free today. I don't know if the women behind me feel free today. So I am begging every member of Congress, every representative to step up and choose the...
I know this is kind of off topic, but did anyone see that video of the Las Vegas shooting? And like there was a person that was far away from it and they were taking video, and apparently there was these helicopters up in the sky and there was muzzle flashes coming out from it. Allegedly. I seen it though.
chaos. Choose the
And
survivor.
it looked wild. And you know, if you guys weren't here on the other stream that I was doing, there you can look up Las Vegas shooting map and find the link. And this guy made a map of every phone call, every autopsy. Like he placed it all like accurately on the map. And there's some damning stuff there, but that's for a different time.
Survivors. Choose the children. Protect the children. All children. You protect all of us equally. Thank you very much for your time. Following that, Lisa Phillips will be the next survivor.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Phillips. It's an honor to stand here again for something America is finally united on: the immediate release of the entire Epstein files. In a divided nation, this is one demand we all share. Last time I stood here, I made a promise to all survivors watching. If those in power refused to release the truth, we would start uncovering it ourselves.
Yeah, godlike or whatever. Yeah, and then it's crazy because if you look at the map, there were 2 helicopters that are like special helicopters. They're supposed to be very silent or something like that, and you wouldn't hear it over the show that was going on during the time. Like, there were 2 helicopters that were doing some pretty freaky stuff that day, right at that moment. I won't say too much more, but you gotta dig into it.
Anyone who doubted that,
Look up that
moment has
map.
already arrived.
Look up the map. Look up the phone calls of people saying that they heard shots coming from, like, even people that were a mile away from the scene were hearing shots, seeing people running away with weapons, and it's pretty crazy.
Since that day, more survivors across the country and around the world have reached out. Text, emails, DMs, first-hand accounts, and evidence. Many are women who were abused or trafficked through the international modeling pipeline
I'm gonna go grab my methylene blue real quick. I'll let this play.
Epstein built, promising visas, apartments, opportunities, futures, while exploiting their dreams for abuse. Most are still terrified to speak publicly because the men involved are powerful. They're connected, and as we know, they're protected. For too long, survivors have watched others speak for us. And while we are grateful for our allies in Congress on both sides, we've realized something. This fight belongs to us. We lived it, and we know the truth. And we will not wait quietly for institutions to decide when we're allowed to speak. The survivors now coming forward have entrusted us with their stories. We are sharing that information with the proper authorities, and when it can safely be made public, it will be. So today, we are launching something historic. The first national, survivor-led political movement in America. Nonpartisan, laser-focused on exposing the systems, the loopholes, power structures, and silencing mechanisms that have protected predators for far too long. We are stepping directly into the halls of power, into the political arena. We will help rewrite laws that failed us and build protections for our nation's children together, targeted by sexual exploitation. Together, today, survivors begin our own fight, the survivor revolution. And we intend to change this nation for the better. If you're a survivor who wants to join us, please reach out. And to anyone who benefits from the current system, intentionally or not, remember this. Alone, yes, we are afraid. But together, we are feared. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I am Jenna Lisa Jones, and just as Haley, I would just like to give a little reminder that this was me at 14 years old. I was a child. I was in 9th grade. I was hopeful for life and what the future had held for me. He stole a lot from me at 14. So just a little reminder there for everybody. Sorry. So,
Yeah, this woman definitely looks like she's stricken by trauma. She definitely does. You can just tell.
I just want to start out by saying thank you for all of you for being here today. I want to start by expressing my deepest gratitude to the members of Congress who have stood with us, the survivors, in demanding the transparency and justice. Your support is a signal that this institution can still serve the American people. This issue was never one that should have divided us the way it has. In fact, it should have united us. Sexual abuse is not a Republican issue. It is not a Democratic issue. It is also not a hoax. We are here as American survivors of a man who used his wealth and power to hurt young girls and women. The world should see the files to know who Jeffrey Epstein was and how the system catered to him and failed us. Emotionally, this process has been distressing. First, the administration said it would release everything and applauded President Trump for that. Then it fought to release nothing. Now that checks and balances of our democracy have worked and the bill is getting passed to release the files, we are hearing the administration say they intend to investigate various Democrats who were friends with Epstein. I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. It is not about you, President Trump. You are our president. Please start acting like it. Show some class. Show some real leadership. Show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment. It is time to take the honest, moral ground and support the release of these files, not to weaponize pieces of the files against random political enemies that did nothing wrong, but to understand who Epstein's friends were, who covered for him, what financial institutions allowed his trafficking to continue, who knew what he was doing but was too much of a coward to.
Everyone knew remember when he first got in trouble in Florida and he got to leave for 12 hours a day? I can't remember what the specific guidelines were. He had already gotten in trouble and people were still fucking with him and hanging out with him. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And he got like the most lenient sentence like that no one's ever seen, like being able to leave the jail or being able to leave weekends or like what? Like, who is this guy? And he gets in trouble for what he got in trouble for and he's not even a U.S. citizen, I don't think. Like, or he's a dual citizen, whatever the fuck he is. Even if he is a U.S. citizen, he's like, wait, what?
Do anything about it. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were able to recruit and abuse young girls and women. Then the country will learn nothing and has horrible history will repeat itself if we do not do something about this. Thank you to the brave congressmen and women who have stood by us and recognized our side is the American side, and we should all be proud once again to be Americans. I want to just extend my thank you so much to all three of you very, very much. The first time we were here, listening to people yell shame at you, and when she was here in support of us, really hit home and spoke some volumes, and I just very much appreciative of your support, and we stand by you. Don't let any of them bully you. We're here for you. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming together today and taking the time to listen to us. Your presence means the world, and it shows commitment to understanding and supporting survivors and Americans. I stand before you today with a heavy heart. I originated from Brazil, and I came to the United States when I was 8 years old. I was only 14 when I first encountered Jeffrey Epstein, and my daughter is now almost at that age. At 14, the only things she should be concerned with are going to school, practicing at her cheerleading competitions, and enjoying her time with her friends and family. She should not have to bear the burden of worrying about being manipulated or exploited. At this,
You know what? Each one of these victims should be able to sue the government and get money for having to endure the fact that they came out and said there were thousands of victims. Then there weren't no victims. What Epstein files? It's a hoax. They should be able to sue and get money out of them for how this has been handled. Just ridiculous. Make sure you guys double tap that screen. We're almost to 50 likes. We just need 34 more likes, or 24 more likes. We'll be at 100 likes. Oh my God, I cannot talk. 24 more likes. We'll be at 50 likes. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Let's continue to help me get in the algorithm and continue to grow around the road to 10,000 subs. Now my lips are blue from drinking my methylene blue. Good time 711. Thank you for saying all that in the chat and reminding people to like the video, man. I appreciate that. Might have to make you moderator soon.
age, she is still a child, and no child should ever have to face such threats. I also want to address a troubling statement made by a prominent figure on a major platform who suggested that a 14-year-old should not be considered a victim of pedophilia. This is a dangerous and incorrect notion. When we talk about how children at 14 should still be treated as children, I ask you to look at the young people around you. Remember when you were that age? Do you think you should have been responsible for being groomed? Put yourselves in our position when we were young. I'm here today not to just share my story, but to call on all of you to help make a difference. We need to support to push for the Transparency Act and release the Epstein files. Please reach out to your Congress members and senators and urge them to support this crucial legislation. The truth is something that we all deserve, and it is vital for safety and protection of the future of generations. Think about all the young people in your life, your daughters, your nieces, your friends. Let's stand together and ensure that they grow up in a world where they are safe and valued. I often wondered, why did this happen to me? And then I realized, God only gives you what you can handle. I'm here for a purpose, and that purpose is to make a difference today. So, let's stand together to protect our children and our peace. Thank you.
Good morning. I want to say a few things before I begin. My speech may not be great. It was thrown together last minute as I only came here, decided Friday, when one of us, who has spoken several times, decided she couldn't come because of the threats. She was too scared. So I want to say, when you threaten one of us, you're threatening all of us. Yep. We are together now, and that's never going to change. This is me at 16 when I met Jeffrey Epstein. Now I'll start. It is an honor to stand here before the American people. However, I shouldn't have to stand here at all. I'm here because as a child, I was pulled into Jeffrey Epstein's world, a world built on exploitation and manipulation of innocence and the protection of powerful men and women who believed that they were untouchable. Today, we'd rather be preparing for the holidays. We'd rather be at home with our families, baking with our children and decorating the Christmas tree as we try to move past this horrific moment that has impacted our entire adult lives. However, that's not possible because it's become something it should have never been, political and sensationalized. The truth is simple. We were victimized as children and failed repeatedly by the very system that was supposed to protect us. That's why we stand here today, to demand justice and accountability, not just for Epstein and his crimes, but for every predator and every enabler who participates in or protects abusers. The Epstein case was gravely mishandled consistently and deliberately over many years. Epstein could have been stopped decades ago, but instead he was able to continue his abuse, even during his sweetheart deal, yes, with his ankle monitor on, and beyond. A deal that protected him and silenced us. While I was a child fighting to survive what happened to us, federal prosecutors were negotiating ways to shield powerful adults. And the failures didn't stop there. Our civil cases were met with hostile judges and delay tactics, intimidation, and PR campaigns designed to smear us in the public eye. We were treated as problems to be managed instead of victims to be protected. Today, something has changed. Individually, our voices were whispers. Together, they've become impossible to ignore. We are encouraged to see elected officials from both parties, thank you, come together and finally take action to release the files. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Good job. Yes, Ashley. Good morning. My name is Wendy, and I'm standing here today with a truth that still scares me to say out loud. I'm going to put this down because I can't hold both, as you guys saw, but that was me when I was 14 when I met Jeffrey Epstein. None of us here signed up for this political warfare. We never asked to be dragged into battles between people who never protected us in the first place. We are exhausted from surviving the trauma and then surviving the politics that swirl around it. When survivors travel to speak, to advocate, to stand for the truth, we do it with our own money, from our own pockets, carrying our own fear, shaking in our own bodies. There is no team, there is no paycheck. It's just us hoping our voices make a difference. And it puts a pit right in your stomach because you know you're standing on the right side of history. Yes. But standing on the right side of history is not a comfortable place to be. It never has been. And in a sick, heartbreaking way, it's an honor to show up, an honor to speak here, and an honor to stand in light when the world tried to keep us in the dark. And what keeps me standing is, even with all this fear, I have a 14-year-old daughter myself, the same age I was. And when I look at her, I see the little girl I used to be, the one that no one protected. My greatest fear in this entire world is history repeating itself. And I will do anything, absolutely anything, to make sure that she has to never be one of these girls standing in front of a crowd like this today in her life. So today, from the safest and bravest places inside myself, I am asking Congress, please pass the bill. Please release the records. Stop making survivors fight alone for the truth that should have protected us in the first place. To the representatives that support us, thank you. Thank you for standing beside survivors so we don't have to face this fear alone. Thank you for choosing what is right over what is easy. And every survivor who is scared right now, your fear is real. Your courage is real, and even though we're terrified, we keep showing up. Because someone has to tell the truth. Someone has to protect these children. We deserve safety then, we deserve it now. And we are done being afraid so others can stay comfortable. So with that, I want to say thank you guys for having us. And I just hope that people can remember that as survivors, our story never leaves us, but the choice that you make to pass this bill, your career is in front of you, and that choice will follow you. Everybody will know. So yes. Thank you. Good job, Wendy. Well said, Wendy. You're incredible.
Hello, everybody. My name is Danny Bensky. This was me at 17 years old. Coming from the dance world, I was recruited in 2004 after a systematic breaking down where Epstein leveraged my mother's brain tumor scans. He threatened me to withhold care for her. He trapped me in a year-long cycle of abuse. The last time I was here in Washington, D.C., I talked about being a part of this beautiful mosaic of women behind me, and they are exactly that. They are a beautiful mosaic of energy and passion and love and life. I am one story of 1,000. You think of that number, 1,000. I spoke of how big our hopes and dreams once were, and I talked about how they were completely shattered at the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I look at this amazing community behind me. They are survivor sisters. We are together. We stand together in this. And I realize that we are a representation of women across America. We come from different backgrounds. We have different religions. We are different races, different creeds, different ethnicities. We have different political affiliations. Some of us don't want to be political at all. And yet we stand here together for this cause. We're united in the call for transparency, complete transparency, to find justice. Justice for our younger selves. These pictures that you see, they're real people. I wish I could go back and give my former self a hug and say, this matters and it's going to change, and mean it. We are standing here for justice for the youth of tomorrow, and justice for those who are no longer with us, like the beautiful, brave Virginia Giuffre. We understand that the road is long, but I implore you to stay the course, please. Living in an age where you can get news in 10-second clips on your phone, I know that this is a big task for us, but it's a very personal one for survivors. It's a very personal one for us as a country. So I'd like to ask you to try something right now. I'd like everybody to close their eyes or soften their gaze just for a moment, and I want everybody to think of a child that is close to them between the ages of 14 and 18 years old. It could be your daughter, it could be your niece, it could be a friend's kids, it could be you at a former age, it could be your mother at that age. But really envision that for a second, 14 to 18 years old. When you think of that person, I want you to think about what they feel like. What is their energy? What do they smell like? What sound do they make when they laugh? Really think about that child, just for a moment. Now I want you to picture a pair of giant looming wooden doors and an overbearing marble landing. Those are the doors to Jeffrey Epstein's house. Do you allow that child to enter or not? If the answer is yes, you would allow entrance. You stand with predators. If the answer is no, then congratulations, you're on the right side of justice. Now you have homework. I am calling for the American people. You have homework. Call your congressional leaders. Call your senators. Please support this bill. Let's get it all released. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Annie Farmer, and this is a photo of me and my sister Maria Farmer. Around the time I was 16 and she was 25. That's how old we were when we were abused by Epstein and Maxwell. Survivors have repeatedly stated that our pursuit of transparency and justice is a nonpartisan issue. But given the political noise surrounding this case, I just want to remind people of some of the facts. In 1996, when my sister Maria bravely blew the whistle on this group by reporting to the FBI what Epstein and Maxwell did to both of us, they hung up on the phone on her, and there was no follow-up of any kind. Bill Clinton was president. In 2006, the FBI came to us, finally interviewed us, and asked us both to be witnesses against Epstein. We were very anxious, but we agreed. And then we didn't hear back from them due to their infamous sweetheart deal. George W. Bush was president. In 2015, when the DOJ was sent FOIA requests for Maria's FBI files, and they were denied, as they have been many times, Barack Obama was president. In 2019, when Epstein died in prison due to either negligence or foul play, Donald Trump was president. In 2023, Maria's attorneys sent a letter on her behalf to the government, requesting an investigation into the repeated law enforcement failures in this case, similar to what was done in the case of Larry Nassar. They declined to do so. Consequently, my sister filed notice that she would be suing the government for failing to uphold its legal, ethical, and moral duties in this case. Joe Biden was president. This year, after campaigning on a pledge to finally release the files, under Trump's second presidency, the DOJ announced they were closing the investigation into Epstein's co-conspirators, and then transferred Ghislaine Maxwell into a prison camp, where it is well documented that she is receiving special treatment. This is not an issue of a few corrupt Democrats or a few corrupt Republicans. This is a case of institutional betrayal. Because these crimes were not properly investigated, so many more girls and women were harmed. My sister, because of her bravery, was repeatedly threatened and lived in fear, with dire consequences for her health and her career. 30 years later, even as oceans of allegations and obvious truths have emerged, the government has still not chosen transparency. This is why we have all come together as one united voice to demand the release of all the Epstein files and to finally bring the truth out of the shadows.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of Congress, and everyone gathered here today, I want to start by thanking the three of you. Thank you. It takes a lot of bravery to do.
We're going to listen to this first a little bit, then we're going to move on. Apparently, national security blocked the Epstein file release. I don't know. I read a freaking article, so I'm not sure if that's the truth or what it is. But why don't we ever talk? We're talking about files, but why don't we talk about the hard drives and the cameras? What are we going to get from that? Are we gonna get the hard drives and the flash drives and the camera footage? Is that gonna be released? Of course not, because it'd be child CP. But can we at least get the footage of them on the island without a child in there, or you know, what's gonna happen? What are we gonna do about this? There's just a lot of things that they're not bringing up. I don't understand it. Well, I do understand it, and I know why, but all right, I'm getting a phone call. I'll let this play.
We see you. It means a lot for you to be here with us, and I know my sister would be incredibly proud. This is the moment she was fighting for, and the moment that all survivors are fighting for. So, thank you. My name is Sky Roberts, and I stand before you as the brother of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, a warrior, a mother, and a sister whose legacy will forever resonate in the hearts of those who understand the fight against injustice. Today, we find ourselves in a place of deep sorrow, shattered by the loss of our beloved sister. Yet, we are honored and privileged to carry her voice forward and continue her relentless fight alongside her fellow survivor sisters. Virginia's story is one that should have been filled with promise, but instead it became a harrowing tale of exploitation and survival. At just 16 years old, she took a job at Mar-a-Lago, believing she had secured a dream summer position. But that dream quickly morphed into a nightmare when Ghislaine Maxwell preyed upon her innocence. This isn't just a story of one girl, it's a story about the insidious nature of power and abuse, a dark chapter in our society that must be told. Virginia was no stranger to trauma. In her memoir, Nobody's Girl, she shares the painful truth that she had already suffered abuse at the hands of her father and a family friend. But what happened next was unfathomable. Epstein and Maxwell didn't just abuse her, they trafficked her to a network of the rich and powerful. Princes, prime ministers, politicians, financiers, and lawyers. These men committed unspeakable acts against her will, and against the will of countless survivors who stand united with us today. Virginia's strength was tested in many ways that most of us can hardly imagine. She was manipulated, coerced, and threatened, forced into complicity in her own devastation. She often spoke of psychological scars that ran deeper than the physical ones. From the start, she wrote, "They manipulated me into participating in behaviors that ate away at me, eroding my ability to comprehend reality and preventing me from defending myself. The most destructive wound they inflicted was that of forced complicity, a betrayal of self that was crafted by her abusers. But I stand here today to declare that their tactics of fear and intimidation did not work. Virginia's spirit could not be broken. She became a beacon of hope, a warrior, fighting not just for herself, but for every survivor who suffered in silence. She said, "I felt it was my duty to stand up to predators like Epstein and Maxwell. I would put my neck on the line to make sure my daughter never has to go through what I had to endure." These survivors, like Virginia, have transformed into mothers and strong women, fierce in the face of adversity. Many of them have daughters the same age they were when they faced their own abuse. They are determined to break the cycle, to shatter the silence that has kept so many in the shadows. Virginia quoted in her memoir, "There I was, as the mother of 3 children. I felt it was my duty to stand up to predators like Epstein and Maxwell. I mentioned to Ellie in particular, her daughter, I would put my neck on the line to make sure she never has to go through what I had to go through. I said, joining Edward's CVRA case, what I would want somebody to do for my daughter or sister and friend. In the end, I said, I was just trying to do the right thing. That's what I felt like I'm doing," I said. "I'm making a small dent in this big world we live in." Well, sissy, You didn't just make a small dent. You made a monumental impact, a resounding statement that echoed across the world. You built an unbreakable wall, a barrier that will protect future generations from the horrors of abuse. As we gather here today, I urge each of you, members of Congress, advocates, and all those who hear this message to join us in this fight. We demand justice, accountability, and support for survivors. And we keep getting asked this: what does justice mean, you ask? It starts with acknowledgement. That's the first step. Acknowledge in the face of survivors that this happened and that this is true. Your vote carries that weight. My sister is not a political tool for you to use. These survivors are not political tools for you to use. These are real stories, real trauma, and it's time for you to stop just talking about it and act. Vote yes. Virginia's legacy is not just hers. It belongs to all of us who stand against injustice. Together, we will ensure that the voices of survivors are heard, that the truth prevails, and that the horrors of the past are never repeated. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for standing with us. Together, we will not let Virginia's fight be in vain. Together, we will not let the predators win. Together, we will be the change this world desperately needs. Thank you.
All right, so I think that's a good time to stop this part. Yeah, it's just sad, you guys. At the end of the day, the files need to be released. The fact that we even have to sit here and fucking pass a bill, the Epstein transparency bill, is ridiculous. Yeah, let's just, vote to... Let's vote to release the truth, right? Very slippery slope, very bad precedented setting. Makes us look even more ridiculous as America. Make sure you guys double tap that screen. 16 more double taps would be at 50 likes. Help us get an algorithm more. It's very sad. Condolences to everybody, man. Condolences to that girl's family who unalived herself. I mean, much love to all the victims. It's ridiculous. And hopefully they're getting their day where they can get the truth out. I'm hoping that, all this goes their way, and it shouldn't have been drug out this long. But, we have to deal with crappy people who are in power. There's a lot of evil things going on out in this world, guys. But sad to listen to. So we'll get into that a little bit more in a little bit. I want to go over this Candace Owens podcast. Yesterday she tweeted saying that she has new evidence. I'll read off the tweet. Let's see what she said specifically so I can quote it, because you guys hopefully will see what I see when it comes to this podcast. So yesterday she said, today is going to be a big day. What we will present in the Charlie Kirk investigation is going to change everything. This is not exaggeration. Nothing will be the same. She continues to say that that what she found will change everything, but I mean, come on. And she also posted license plates for our quote-unquote Egyptians on the day of the assassination are as follows. Silver 2025 Toyota RAV4 Utah license plate number T092ZS. White 2025 Toyota Camry Arizona license plate number CWN9872. 2023 Toyota RAV4 Utah license plate number T912KM. 2025 Toyota 4Runner Utah license plate number Z923DA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So those must be something that's involved. I haven't watched this whole podcast, so let's just get into the podcast and then we will go ahead and get into the other information. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love this hoodie as well. I had to get it before you can't get them no more, right? All right, I'm going to go flip my steak. I'll be back. Yeah, so I didn't watch this whole thing. I kind of was skimming through it this morning when I was getting the kids ready for school and their dentist appointment. But a lot of crazy stuff going on. And you know, the thing is too is it's like do we not love our American people? Do we not love our America in itself? We have to vote to release facts. We have to vote to release like these victims are really victims. They're going through real emotions and everything that's going on, and they're treating them as if it's just like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Shout out to all the victims, man. Hopefully they get their justice. Everybody, yeah. You watched it yesterday. It's pretty good. Yeah, I just watched a little bit of it. We'll get into it. I want to get into the Sean Ryan podcast that he did with the security member of Charlie Kirk's team as well. That was interesting. And you could tell that his security guard was trying to go along with the narrative too that was set. Especially when Sean Ryan and what made me upset, we'll get into more, but we'll get into the it more after this podcast. But what made me upset more was that Sean Ryan didn't really even push back, right? I thought Sean Ryan would be like, well, why wasn't it like this, or why didn't this happen? Why didn't you guys have an ambulance close by? Like, none of that happened. I thought Sean Ryan would kind of push the agenda on that, but he didn't. So. Not from what I've seen, but okay, let's get into this, guys. We're going to get into the podcast, but before I do get into it, we have... We have 51 minutes left on the Super Chat goal, guys. Send your Super Chats through 5 Super Chats. 5 Super Chats, $5 and above. Send your Super Chats through. Get your name written on the donor wall. Become a member. $4.99 a month is a See Me Now Soldier. $9.99 a month is a See Me Now General. Thank you to all the members who are out there supporting the channel. And make sure you guys go ahead and send your Super Chats through. YouTube does take a brutal 30%. So if you want me to get the full amount of the donation, hit the Streamlabs link in the description. If you're on a phone, you're going to have to copy and paste it into your browser. But if you're on a computer, you can just go ahead and click the link and send it that way. Get your name written on the donor wall. Show some love and support, man. You guys are the reason why I can continue to chase my dreams Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 2:30. And we continue to run it up together. We are so close to 10,000 subs. Let's continue to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue to hit that like button. Donations are just extra. The subscriptions and the likes are all that matter to me. Donations are a blessing, and blessings aren't given, they're earned. And if you feel like I've earned your blessing enough, then feel free to send your blessing through. I appreciate everybody for being here. God bless everybody. And I hope you guys are having a good work week so far. It is Tuesday. And yeah, so much love to everybody, man. I have the marker right here to write your name down with on the wall. And then I have the chalk marker right here to write your name down if you become a member. But yeah, I love you guys, man. Let's continue to do this and go through this pod.
Of history for you today. It was after the public execution of sitting President JFK in 1963 that the CIA established Operation Mockingbird. Deep state assassinations require deep state solutions. They spent an offensive amount of money to control the press and to control the narrative, to put an end to the public asking common sense questions about what actually transpired on that fateful day in Dallas. To put it simply, the deep state declared a psychological warfare campaign on the people. In effect, their soldiers were the journalists and the writers. Their goal, obviously, to get people to just stop asking questions, to almost criminalize asking questions via methods of gaslighting. Fast forward to 2025, and they're running the exact same playbook. Charlie Kirk was assassinated in broad daylight, and they immediately deployed their troops to criminalize asking questions.
What are you supposed to take from the everyone? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think the implication was dramatic, and I think a lot of people reading the tweets would assume that she meant Erica Kirk.
Either Erica Kirk is evil and was in on it, or Candace Owens is an evil.
I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she's doing right now.
Post-Charlie, there was so much unity, so much excitement, so much resurgence in faith and newfound interest in faith, and that now there is discord, so many distractions, and that is just like Satan who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He is called the great accuser. He is the sower of discord, the author of...
I got a phone call coming in. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry, guys, I had a phone. I'm getting another injection in my spine, so fun stuff, man. $13 more likes. We'll be at 50 likes. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Keep double tapping that screen. Let's try and get in the algorithm today. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Like I said, I got to plug myself, man. You guys know I'm chasing my dreams, and I do this daily. So it wouldn't be proper of myself to not plug my own channel. By the way, merch coming out very soon. I showed the logo yesterday. Looking awesome. Send through your super chats, guys. We got 45 minutes left on the super chat goal. 5 super chats, $5 and above. Show some love to your boy. Help your boy continue to chase his dreams and get or make his way to 100,000 subs Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 2:30 streaming with your boy. Come chill with me every day. Hit the subscribe button with notification bell after and double tap that screen. Get your name written on the donor wall. Oh, I love the smell of Sharpies, huh? Get your name written on door wall. Send through your super chat. Show some love and support. Help me reach my super chat goal of 5 super chats, $5 and above. God bless.
Confusion.
The reason I haven't waited on things is I'm an eyewitness to events, and they said, don't comment on things because anything you say can mess that up. I don't want to mess up any trial for the person who did this.
That's 1,000% right. But Candace Owens is well within her rights to suggest certain things and all this, and she has the right to free speech and all that.
But what about the other people involved, right? Oh yeah, do you guys want to see my merch, by the way? Here, let's show the merch. Well, I don't have the shirt, but this is gonna be the design on the shirt. I already have a couple pictures. I already have a couple shirts in mind and hats. Here, I wonder if I can't. Here, 1 second. Let's do this. Just to plug myself real quick and show you. I want to show you what I've been working on. I wonder if I can't. Just to kind of show you an idea of what kind of shirt or what my shirts would look like. And it looks fucking dope too. Like my shirts are gonna be so nice and such good quality too. You guys are gonna love them. Like straight up, gonna love them. All right, so I was thinking about doing just like a simple nice shirt, like comfy shirts. Then I'm gonna do athletic shirts as well, right? But and sweaters. But I freaking think that like having a shirt like this. Let's see here. And I had some beanies in mind too. I wonder if I can't show you on here. Hold on. And I also have my own domain checkout stuff. So like something like this. Yeah, I'm gonna do hoodies. I'm gonna do hoodies. I'm gonna do beanies. I'm gonna do shirts and sweatshirts. Or I already said sweatshirts. So hoodies, beanies, shirts, and hats is what it's gonna be. Oops. So kind of like this, right? This is what I'm thinking. We can go through this together and let me know what you guys think. So we're gonna do things like this, right? Or I also had other things in mind as well, but let's show you what the beanie would look like. The beanie would look fucking sick, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know how to spell beanie. Yeah, the beanie looks sick. Come on, bro. We'll just do hat. Oh yeah, I'm from North Dakota, bro. I understand if you need if you need shirts or sweaters and shit, I understand. I'm from North Dakota, bro. God, I was on another website that had hats. This one must not have hats. Shorts, t-shirts, what? Okay, yeah, whatever. This one doesn't have hats. I can show you the hat on my phone real quick. But imagine we had like a sweater that looked like. But we gotta also remember like the. We gotta remember the freaking price, like so many different pricings for bulk orders, which so if I bought this sweater designed at $22, I would have to sell it for at least 40, 50. But let's do the See Me Now logo. This looks fucking sick. Or we can do it gray, like the logo can be gray. I think it looks really good as gray. Here, I wonder, can I not change the color? Okay, anyways, but yeah, look at this. This looks sick. Like fucking sick, right? Imagine it gray. I wonder if I can show you. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can show you on my phone or on my laptop quick. Look at this beanie I was making. Like this beanie was sick. Let's see if you guys can see this. Here, let's see. I'll make myself bigger quick. Oops. Look at this. Yeah, I think that's fucking dope. Really, I can take a screenshot, can't I? How do I take a screenshot? I can't remember how to take a screenshot on a MacBook. But I think instead of Command Shift 3, okay. But I think for like, let me airdrop it to my other MacBook. I have this MacBook Air and then I have a MacBook Pro with the touch bar on the top. All right, so here it is. Here is the, let me fix my web cam here. So here's the hood, or here's the beanie I'm thinking about right here. Like, this is sick, isn't it? Like, that's fucking sick, don't you think? That beanie would be sick. Like, how many of you guys would buy it? Put a 1 in the chat if you would buy this beanie. I think the blue and the gray is fucking awesome. But my thinking is for beanies, I'll have to buy them from a place like this, right? Like, I'll have to because I don't know how to press beanies. But I'm thinking what I'm going to do, because I can, like this logo, I can order the press sheets. I can order, say, like 1,000 press sheets of the logo. And then just order a shirt press machine for a few $100. And then for the shirts, just bulk order my shirts for fucking $3 to $5 a piece. Nice quality shirts, depending, like, let's say $10 shirts a piece. They're nice quality. Order like 100, 200 of them here. And then I can just press the shirts myself and then sell them to you for cheaper. Instead of having to buy them offline, have them make it, order each shirt for like 20 something dollars, then have to sell them to you for like 50. I'd rather get the press machine, get my logo, press my own shirts, sell them to you for cheaper. That's how I feel. I think that this is like, these hats are fucking amazing though. I'm gonna get some and I'll let you know when they're up to buy. And then you guys can go ahead and buy the hats. I think the hats are gonna be awesome, especially like you said, you live on the East Coast. You know, you can like, this would be awesome to wear on the East Coast for a hat, you know, and then you're part of the army. You know what I mean? See me now. We are awakened. I love the fucking logo. I love the name. I love the brand. I own the domain. I did it all yesterday. So we're good. Oh no, that's what I just said, God. Like, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I think that I should just order my logo as press sheets. A fucking shirt press is only like $200. Get my own shirt press. Buy all my shirts, the colors that I want of shirts in bulk, nice quality. Press the shirts myself and sell them for cheaper. So instead of buying the shirts for like $50 from me, you guys could buy shirts from me for like 30. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot in store. We're gonna be doing a lot of big things. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. That's a nice ass logo, nice hat, nice hat. So hell yeah, bro. Thank you for supporting me too, you guys. You guys are awesome. Like I said, man, I got a lot of things in store, and my merch isn't gonna be this like weird little fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be nice merch, you guys. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome. So, well, I already bought the domain name and everything like that, and the logo. I bought the logo too, so it's mine. No one can steal my logo or my slogan. I just have to trademark it. But other than that, I got everything else done for it. But like I said, got a lot of good merch coming soon. Got a lot of good things in store for us. Stay tuned. Show some love and support. Continue to support the channel, because it's you guys who send through your super chats, who become members and all that other stuff, and the people who support me around me that make it so this is possible. So that's why I always have to plug myself and say, hey guys, make sure you guys send through your super chats. Support your boy along the journey, because man, you guys, without you guys, none of this would be possible. And the people and the team I have around me, excuse me. So yeah, we're gonna run it up, guys. We're gonna continue to do good. We're gonna continue to grow, and you guys are the reason why. So that's why I have the super chat wall behind me, and I write down names, because I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the support I get on this channel and from the people around me, none of this would be possible. But I got a lot of stuff coming, guys. A lot of stuff coming. So like I said, man, we got what? Let's see. 34 minutes left on the super chat goal. So make sure you guys send through your super chats, $5 and above. Show some love and support. I'm gonna go grab my steak, and then let's get into this pod. Thank you so much, Godlike. Yeah, and I know, like, a lot of you people are gonna love the merch and buy it, so that's why I'm trying to make it so I get it made quick. The first merch drop will probably only be like 50 pieces of like, I want to do like 15 hats and beanies, 15 shirts, 15 sweaters. So that's probably what we're gonna do. But you have to order different sizes, and you have to do this. Now it's like a lot of shit. It's a lot of stuff you gotta do. But I'm working on it, so we'll get into it. But like I said, guys, man, get your name written down on the donor wall behind me. We're filling up this whole room with names. Get your name written down by supporting the channel. Send through your super chats, $5 and above, 5 super chat goal. Much love to everybody, man. God bless. Let's get into this Candace stream.
That's fine. She's right to ask questions. I just think it is hurtful and not helpful when you cross a line to strongly suggest somebody's guilty of something for which you have no evidence.
Challenge accepted, Frank Turek. Let's go, Max. Pastor Rob McCoy, let's not forget him too, because he's the spawn of naval psychological intelligence, psychological campaigns upon the public. And here's what he has to say about matters. Take a listen.
I want to read you a passage out of Romans. It says in Romans 12:15 and 16, rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble, and do not be wise in your own opinion. I think that's a fitting verse. I mean, we're hearing all kinds of speculation about Charlie and what he believed and didn't believe, and I just have to tell you,
this
is
guy's
not the time
evil.
for it. It's a time to minister to the family. They have a husband and a father to bury. We have a friend to bury, a brother to bury, a son to bury, and the world is mourning. And this is not the time to get clicks. It's not time to build your empire. It's time to just simply weep with those who weep.
Aren't you
And
trying
it's
to build
time
an empire,
just
Mr.
humble
Rob
yourself
McCoy?
and not make it all about you.
What a fucking
It's
joke.
about the Lord.
You hear that, Christians? Asking questions is just, it's not about you. I mean, is there anything that they didn't try? You're making money off of this. It's
Bro, I made this steak so good. I love A1 steak sauce. Like, I always have to have it. But I've been making these steaks so good lately in this beef tallow and with this truffle seasoning. I don't even think I need steak sauce. Like, straight up, I could just eat it like this. Like, I love steak, bro. So much. Yeah, Rob McCoy's a joke, bro. Absolute joke. Evil. You can see it in his eyes. Just ridiculous. So, I appreciate everybody who's in here and shows love and support. We all see it. We all see how it is. Much love to Candace, bro.
unbiblical. Charlie wouldn't want this. His
I'm
family
surprised
is
more
grieving.
bots ain't in
Not
here
right
today.
now.
Is it
Let's
their
at
day
least
off?
wait a couple of weeks. It's going to ruin the case. You'll get into heaven as long as you don't think about it. If you don't think about what happened on 9/10, then you're guaranteed a slot into heaven. You know, I used to really lament the fact that I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. Seriously, I hated that I didn't grow up rich. Who didn't, right? Who does not hate if you grow up without a lot, that you weren't just born into the right circumstances?
Not me,
and
made
now
me
I
who I am
reflect on
today.
those feelings, and I wouldn't change a single thing. I am actually so grateful. That's what I want to say today. I am so grateful about where I started my life in St. John's Towers. I look at that building now with such pride. And I am grateful to have not grown up with a silver spoon in my mouth, because it fortified my character and it gave me a lot of common sense. Basic survival skills. It requires gut instinct. And I had to learn at a very young age to read people. I think that's my superpower, actually. Just being able to look at someone and sense danger or sense deceit. I can just look at Rob McCoy, and for me, it's a no. It's obviously a no. Same thing, by the way, I should mention with Steven Crowder. I have never been a fan. He just always gave me the energy of a pathological liar. I trust my gut. I don't trust influencer campaigns. I don't trust celebrities because they're raising their arms and they glitter and shine and they tell me that I should roll up my sleeves and get a vaccine. I don't listen to any of that. I trust my gut instincts, always.
You know, one thing I was thinking about doing? Last night I was on the phone, right? Or I was watching TV and I was watching, like, I was thinking, I was like, man, who is the surgeon that, like, worked on Charlie? Like, he's just not named anywhere. You cannot find the name at all. And so I looked up. Oh, yeah, I watched that. That was insane. Yeah. Yeah, trust me. It was fucking crazy. Like, I went over it yesterday, but I had to delete my stream. Hold on, I gotta see if my cat's not getting into something. But yeah, I was thinking yesterday, and well, yeah, first of all, I went over that yesterday. I had to delete the stream. It was fucking crazy. Crazy damning video. But I was thinking, I was like, the surgeon is not named. And I was like, I wonder if I can call Timpanogos Regional Hospital or whatever and talk to him. Obviously, you know, like, they're like under a gag order or like under pressure. Like, they would probably, like, Secret Service would probably come to my house and ask me why I called them. But I was thinking, should I do that on live stream? Should I try and call? Oh, I'm an anti-vaxxer too. Should I call Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Utah? Yeah, they were spamming, just retire, man, just retire. It was crazy. But I was like, man, I wonder what would happen to me if I called Timpanogos Regional Hospital on stream. So I wonder if we should do it and ask if we can speak to the person who worked on Charlie Kirk and see what their response is. I think it'd be interesting to hear like the response of a worker when I say, "Hi, ma'am. My name is so and so from See Me Now Media, and I'm just calling to see if I can't speak to the surgeon who worked on Charlie Kirk." What if I got through to him? What if I was the first streamer ever to call that hospital and talk to the surgeon? What do you think I should do? Should I do it? Or you think Secret Service would come to my house and threaten me? I'll think about it.
And my gut started to tell me that they suddenly began panicking when I discovered the Egyptian planes. They did what we now term a pre-bunking, right? A pre-bunking is when you say something casual and then they send out like a full fleet against you to not even actually debunk you, but they're just so extreme in not debunking you that they even lie about what you said. And that lie tends to actually foreshadow something that they don't want you to know. So I'll give you a perfect example. On October 11th, when I infamously tweeted about the Egyptian military plane that left Provo on the morning of Charlie Kirk's assassination, I got the time zone wrong by a couple of hours. And they completely overreacted. I mean, an account that didn't even exist wrote, "Oh, the time zone is wrong." Next thing you know, it was trending. And they pretended it had been officially debunked just because the departure time was wrong. But that wasn't even enough for them. They were so alarmed. And I was off air at that time, right? I took a 2-week break. They still found something to scandalize when I wasn't even on air, something that I didn't even say. They sent undercover operatives to sign up for my private book club that I kept on Tuesday. And then they took out a clip of that book club, from that book club, and accused me of accusing Erica of murdering her husband. I mean, they manufactured that claim out of thin air, and then they made it go viral. They sent it out to all the right people, Steven Crowder, right? Everyone suddenly making videos saying that because I said he was betrayed by everyone, obviously what I meant was Erica Kirk murdered her husband. And this was all happening because I mentioned the Egyptian plane. I am certain of it. And so that you can look backward and really see how these psychological campaigns work, I want you to watch this clip of Steven Crowder trying to convince people that despite the words that are coming out of my mouth, they shouldn't listen to what I'm saying. He actually knows what I really meant, which is something that I didn't say. And yeah, here it is. Here's that clip.
But you watch this clip in its entirety, and it seems pretty blatant that she's saying, and people are interpreting it this way, which is also important, that the Trump administration, not whatever it was, we went from underground Jew tunnels, Mossad, the Trump administration killed Charlie Kirk.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them?
Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's when they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not gonna be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then.
Well, let me first be tactful here and tell you that outrageous claims, and this is an outrageous claim, require outrageous evidence. Of course, as is par for the course, none has been presented. You know who's really close to President Trump, and you know who people are now saying stood to gain? Well, Charlie's wife, Erica Kirk, who has now been put, Candace, with that language, with this accusation, has put the wife of Charlie Kirk, and she'll say, that's not what I tried to do. It is. It's the result. Erica Kirk in the crosshairs. There's no middle ground here right now. Either Erica Kirk is evil and was in on it, or Candace Owens is an evil.
No matter how many times I watch that clip of.
All right, guys. So what do you say? Do I call Timpanogos Regional Hospital or what? Do I call them? Put a 1 in the chat if I should call Timpanogos Regional Hospital and ask to speak to the surgeon that worked on Charlie Kirk. I wish we knew his name, because I would call, then I'd ask to be transferred to his nurse, and then ask for like a callback or whatever. But doctors don't usually speak on the phone with people. All right, we're just gonna send it. Excuse me. All right, we're just gonna send it, guys. Sorry, I just ate a steak. I zoomed in my camera on accident. All right, let's go. Let's make sure you guys send through your super chats for me, man. This is the type of shit I do. 20 minutes left on the super chat goal. $5 and above. Let's go. Am I zoomed out or what? What the fuck is going on here? Okay, I am zoomed out. All right, let's go. What I'm calling. I bet you they're getting calls like this all the time. How should I say it? Like, what should I say? So, it had to have been an emergency doctor that worked on him, though. We'll see. Let's see what they say.
Thank you for calling Timpanogos Regional Hospital. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Who would you like to reach? Sorry, I didn't get that. Please say the first and last name of the employee, patient, or name of the department.
Send me to front desk.
Please hold for further assistance. Timpanogos Regional Hospital, this is Tracy. How may I direct your call?
Hi, Chasey. Say, this is Sheldon from See Me Now Media, and I'm calling to see if I can't speak to the nurse or the doctor that was working on Charlie Kirk the day that he came in.
One moment, please.
Well, thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think she'd say anything. I know, I'm gonna sit on hold for forever.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Yo, they skipped out the name of the doctor.
Or press 1 for more options.
Hi, say my name is Sheldon from See Me Now Media. I'm calling to see if I can't talk to the nurse or the surgeon who was working on Charlie Kirk the day he came in. I have a couple questions. Nothing too crazy. I would just love to, have a conversation and get some answers. You can contact me back at 701. Bro, usually they say the doctor's name on the voicemail. They completely cut it out. They completely cut it out. I wonder if I called back and I talked to the ER department. The severe wound bay. I'm never gonna get called back. God, I wonder if I could contact like the emergency room bay and talk with like a nurse and get like a statement. That would be crazy. Should I try? Put a one in the chat if I should try to call back, but talk to the emergency room. Ask for risk management. I wonder who I could talk to. What if I asked for their PR department? Do you think they have like a PR person? Risk management. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Let's see what happens now.
Thank you for calling Timpanogos Regional Hospital. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Who would you like to reach?
Risk management.
One moment, please.
Hello, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris. Say, this is Sheldon from See Me Now Media calling. I'm just calling to ask a few questions about what the day Charlie Kirk came to your guys' hospital.
I'm not authorized to say anything about that. You need to contact our media relations person.
Okay. Okay. Well, can I get a number for that? Is that possible or?
Yeah, hold on. You probably won't be able to say anything either, but he'll be able to tell you the formal HCA.
Like the written down, script?
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's privacy.
Right, 100. I was just mainly wanted to, the surgeon's name's not even out there, and I was just kind of wanting to ask the surgeon some questions. Obviously, there's HIPAA and there's all this other stuff, but I'm kind of curious about certain things.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find his office number.
No, you're good. What are your thoughts on what happened?
I don't have any thoughts. They don't pay me to have thoughts.
So you don't have any thoughts on what's going on?
Let's see. It's 801-714-6518. That's Nate, our media relations person.
thank you. I appreciate the number, and I hope you have a good day. Hopefully, maybe one day you can have a thought.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah. What the fuck? Like, oh. They don't pay me to have thoughts. Bro, being a reporter is so fun, right? So should we call it? Should we call the number? I wonder if Candace Owens has done this. She should do this. 801 714 6518. What do you mean further than I've gotten, Cindy? Make sure you guys send through your super chats, man. Show some love and support. We got a super chat goal of $5 and above. 11 minutes left. Bro, that was crazy. That was great. They don't pay me to have thoughts. Like a robot, like a soulless robot that can't even say, "Yeah, I think it's crazy that that happened to him. My condolences to his family." He couldn't even say that. The man said, "I don't have thoughts." That's crazy. All right, well, let's call this number quick.
Sorry, marketing department is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished,
They knew I was calling.
hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, my name is Sheldon, calling from See Me Now Media. I'm calling in regards to the Charlie Kirk situation coming to Tippinogo's Hospital. I was given your number in referral, and I'm just calling to ask a few questions. Nothing too brazen, nothing too crazy. Don't be scared, I don't bite. You can get a hold of me at to just, kind of clear the air on some things. So, yeah, make sure you guys have a good day and give me a call back. God bless. All right, guys. Well, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm trying. I wonder who else I could go. I wonder if there's a person I could get a hold of at the hospital. I bet you right now at the hospital, they're all going around like, yep, someone's calling from See Me Now Media, and no one answered. No one answered. No one can answer. Don't say nothing. Tell them you have no thoughts. Bruh. Like, over 10,000 people are gag ordered. That's just crazy. You don't have any thoughts on, bruh. Like, over 10,000 people are gag ordered. That's just crazy. What, I'm calling. I bet you they're getting calls like this all the time. How should I say it? Like, what should I say? It had to have been a emergency doctor that worked on it. Sorry, guys. I'm clipping that, bro. I wonder if we can't do a little, like, who are the, what would it be? Trauma. Chasey say, this is Sheldon from See Me Now Media, and I'm calling to see if I can't speak to the nurse or the doctor that was working on Charlie Kirk the day that he came in. Yo, guys, it could have been. Bro, it could have been this guy. Could have been this guy, guys. Craig S. Cook, MD. Carl M. Francis is a trauma surgeon who specializes in trauma surgery and surgical critical care at Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem, Utah. Other general surgeons who may get involved in trauma care hospital include Dr. Brian Gill and Dr. Craig Cook. Carl M. Francis specializes in trauma surgery and surgical care. Dr. Brian Gill also listed as general surgeon at the hospital. Dr. Greg Cook is a surgeon with interests in trauma and critical care who also practice surgical associates. Yo, they skipped out the name of the doctor. Hi, say my name is Sheldon from See Me Now Media. I'm calling to see if I can't talk to the nurse or the surgeon who was working on Charlie Kirk the day he came in. I have a couple questions. Nothing too crazy. I would just love to, have a conversation. Shadow, duh, but we're talking about the surgeon who came out and said that the bullet was stopped. There was a surgeon who worked on him. The thing is for ER docs, they send down surgeons like if there's there's trauma surgeons, so they'll send down trauma surgeons to ERs that'll work shifts. So it depends on what doctor I just read, which one was on shift that day or which one was called to be there, knowing that he was coming there with the wound he had. Which doctor was it that got the call to work on him? 5 minutes left on the super chat goal, guys. I wonder if I could contact like the emergency room bay and talk with like a nurse and get like a statement. That would be crazy. Should I try? Put a one in the chat if I should try to call back, but talk to the emergency room. So if I called and I just kept calling and saying those three doctors' names, one of them's got to be it, right? Okay, so let's do this. Oh, there's more doctors now. Watch AI obviously go around it. Risk management. Hi, Chris. Say, this is Sheldon from See Me Now Media calling. I'm just calling to ask a few questions about what the day Charlie Kirk came to your guys' hospital.
Anything about that, you need to contact media relations person.
Okay, well, can I get a number for that? Is that possible? Or? Bro, okay, so I have a picture of the apparent surgeon who worked on Charlie Kirk. And he has tattoos on the right arm. curious about certain things. No, you're good. What are your thoughts on what happened? So you don't have any thoughts on what's going on? Alrighty. Well, thank you. I appreciate the number, and I hope you have a good day. Hopefully, maybe one day you can have a thought.
Maybe. Have a good one.
Yep. What the fuck? Sorry, guys. I was just doing a little bit of digging. Found a list of all the doctors that work there, the general surgeons and stuff. There's a couple that don't have a doctor. So the doctor that spoke out about the bullet was Dr. Glenn Carlo, a plastic surgeon. Let's try and say that name. Watch them block my number.
Sorry, marketing department.
Oops, that's the wrong number. Sorry.
Thank you for calling Timpanogos Regional Hospital. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Who would you like to reach?
Dr. Glenn Carlo, plastic surgery.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Please say the first and last name of the employee, patient, or name of the department you'd like to reach.
Plastic surgeon Dan Carlo.
Please hold for further assistance.
Damn it. We'll just say plastic surgery. Or plastic, right?
Thank you for calling Timpanogos Regional Hospital. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Who would you like to reach?
Plastic surgery.
For surgery. Did you want inpatient or outpatient?
Inpatient.
Sorry, did you want inpatient or outpatient?
Inpatient.
Connecting to surgery, inpatient. Please hold or say cancel.
Bro, they hung up on me, dude. Oh, they know me. They know I'm calling now for the truth. Damn it. Our cover's been blown, guys. Well, I gotta get to the gym soon, so let's finish this video. But they hung up on me, bro. That's wild, homie. Damn.
Me talking about Martin Luther King Boulevard and Charlie Kirk Boulevard, I do not get from that Erica Kirk killed her husband, but that's what they went with. Those were talking points that were delivered to them. They were supposed to go out of the gate with that. The question is why, okay? Retrospectively, that was a clue. They were panicking. They were trying to pretend me saying that everyone betrayed him, which obviously was not about Erica. It also wasn't about Charlie's mother or Charlie's father or Charlie's children, but they were specifically trying to struggle session that into a slight against Erica rather than more obviously suggesting that people at Turning Point USA betrayed him, which Erica Kirk was not an employee of leading up to his death. Why were they doing that? Then, of course, that made me only look further into the Egyptian planes, and I discovered that the planes had been tracking Charlie. We showed you guys this, right? We created this document and we organized it SUBND being the blue plane, and then tail number SUBTT being the yellow plane. That seems to have struck even more fear into the nest of mockingbirds. In fact, they sent Mother Mockingbird out, Ben Shapiro, to make the exact same wild allegation out of thin air that I said something specifically about Erica when I had not. Again, I'll ask the question, why Erica? Why didn't Ben on stage say she accused Mikey or Rob McCoy? I've done multiple episodes now on Mikey McCoy, on Rob McCoy, speaking about Andrew Colvett, Alex Clark. Why did they keep going back to Erica? What is it about these Egyptian planes that were making them spiral? Now, I'm going to let you guys know right now that it is difficult to investigate a matter, especially when it involves a person that you know, because there are minor things that I immediately noticed that were off or unlikely that would not have necessarily alarmed the general public. For example, one of the earliest alarms that went off for me was the fact that Terrell Farnsworth, the guy who takes out the SD cards, was there at all. Okay, Terrell does not do college campus events. He doesn't do that. He's at the top of the company. He does the big events, the SAS, the AmFest. He does not do college events. But of course, he told me they were trying something new that day. And it must have been so new that it was over by the next event after Charlie died because he wasn't there again. So he just out of the blue was at this event and then he wasn't, and he secured the SD cards. Okay, it was something that I noticed that the rest of the world would not have taken as a concrete fact. It is also how I felt, and I'm sharing this with you now for a reason, when I learned that Charlie flew into Salt Lake City that morning. Because why didn't he fly into the much closer Provo airport? Now, ostensibly, the answer is because he had an interview with a person that nobody really knows. He's a managing director of a restaurant fund. Andrew K. Smith, out of nowhere, does this restaurantology interview with Charlie. And so Charlie flew into Salt Lake to make this interview happen. That, to me, felt like an oddity, okay? Because in a typical scenario, Charlie is not going to be incentivized to go out of his way because he would only do it, actually, if there was a big donor on the hook, and maybe that's what he was told, this guy's going to give a ton of money to Turning Point USA, or B, because it was a major political person. Otherwise, for the sake of a podcast, people travel to Charlie, okay? If you want to get Charlie on your show, you're going to travel to Charlie to make that happen. He's not going to go out of his way. To me, the common thing that always happened was they would set up an interview in an empty room at the campus. At UVU campus, they would have had this guy in the corner and Charlie would have flown into Provo. So I felt, again, didn't share it at this time, that they diverted Charlie Kirk to Salt Lake City for a reason, okay? Something else you should know about Charlie is Charlie was obsessed with planes. My husband and him actually shared this in common, where every time we'd board a plane, Charlie would know exactly, like, way too many facts about the plane. If we boarded an old American Airlines flight, he'd be like, oh, they actually took these planes out of service in the 1970s. He just had a lot of Snapple facts when it came to planes, something that I just do not dedicate any of my time into learning about. He really liked planes and knowing everything about them. And more crucially, I want you guys to understand this, Charlie had a photographic memory. He did. Donor names, emails, numbers. Charlie Kirk was a walking Excel sheet. You'd walk into a room, he'd say, that's so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. He works for so-and-so, she works for so-and-so. They gave this much last year. That is why he was able to turn Turning Point USA into a successful machine, because of his memory. It was unbelievable. That's all going to be relevant now, okay? So you have to remember that Charlie landed into Salt Lake City at 9:23 a.m. local time. I suspect that if he had instead landed into Provo, he would have recognized the blue Egyptian plane, okay? It's not every day that you see an Egyptian military craft. It is now my well-informed opinion that he would have looked at that plane and he would have recognized the blue plane, and he would have instantly realized that something was amiss. And now I'm going to explain to you very carefully why I suspect that it is highly likely that Charlie would have recognized that plane, okay? Tail number SUBND, the blue plane. A pregnant mommy sleuth who was locked into this investigation discovered something that me and my team had missed. I consider her, obviously, and all of you to be my decentralized.
Now, this is the part where I'm talking about where, she says that they missed a piece. They thought that the plane was just following Charlie. Someone else really dug into it, spent like 15 more hours on it. And they found out that it was not only following Charlie, but it was following Erica Kirk.
Intelligence agents. Anyway, she sent me a rather urgent email, and I'm obviously protecting her identity for reasons that are clear. But I want you to know that this discovery is due entirely to her. She is the person that, in this regard, went max for Charlie when I missed something. Her email stated, in effect, that I was only partially right about the plane tracking Charlie, that she had done an additional 15 hours of research and was able to discern that the person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erica. Not Charlie, but Erica was the one being tracked by these planes. And indeed, it turns out that she was correct. She discovered that between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erica's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is? The flights were majority clustered within 5 states: Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Delaware, and Utah. And it's a pattern that she believes is statistically not random. I am telling you this information has been completely verified. I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances in which this plane, 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erica. And I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well, okay? So my instant question becomes, why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them? When I was taking all of these figurative online bullets, someone could have easily said something, right? That's kind of a repeat thing in this investigation. Josh Hammer lies, I get attacked, Turning Point just stays silent. They know he's lying, but they allow the lie to flow. Alex Clark lies, I get attacked, I'm telling the truth. Turning Point knows it, but they kind of allow this like Catholic thing, lie to flow. And the influencers are allowed to lie. Nobody at Turning Point ever just steps to clarify that I'm onto something or I'm telling the truth about something. And when it comes to these Egyptian flights, the math on this is indisputable. There is less than a 0.00000001% probability, okay, under random distribution models that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erica at these times. Like I said, this plane was not just with her in America, it was also tracking her overseas as well. I flagged this because I was alarmed because I thought it was tracking Charlie. And I am telling you that this plane, in addition to Charlie, and primarily actually was tracking Erica. Now, let's get to the day of the assassination. On the day of Charlie's assassination, we know the yellow plane took off in the morning, but the blue plane did not take off in the morning. The blue plane, SUBND, did, however, power on. And I want to be very clear as to what I mean when I say that this plane was on. I am saying that it was transponding, okay? It's transponding at the FBO at Duncan Aviation, a private terminal. So at the very least, they powered up the electronics. At most, they fully powered it on and the engine was running. What we know for certain is that it did not move from the FBO. Did not move. It was just on and transponding. And I want you to recognize, I'm going to make it clear for you what are the times that they were transponding. It's 2 times, and I'm going to tell you those times, but first I'm going to have Mark pull this up and he can tell us what it is that we're
now listen to this part. This part is freaking crazy. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom, then I'm going to play it, okay? Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm on like the FBI's list now of people that called the hospital. And I'm gonna keep digging into it too. That plastic surgeon, there was a picture I found of him. Tattoo on the right arm. Doctor. Doctor whatever. I'm gonna keep looking into it though. I'm gonna wait a couple days. I'm gonna call the hospital again, and I think we should really search into the ER. Where was he brought? He was brought into the trauma bay. We have to search for people for there. Find a nurse who's willing to talk. Maybe I can get a nurse to talk without being arrested from the FBI.
Looking at here and how we were able to find this information about the jet that was just sitting at the FBO.
Yeah, so it looks like, based on this information that I found, and I had to figure out how to use this website because my mother didn't take enough Tylenol when she was pregnant with me, so I can't get too detailed on it. But essentially, all the flight radar websites only show when the plane is actually in the air. But if the plane is on the ground and transmitting, that data from the ADSB transponder still goes out. So this website, ADSB Exchange, takes that raw data. And so I was able to find it on September 10th. If you look on the very left of the frame, it shows September 10th. And it looks like there's just one data point. But what I did is I zoomed in, and the plane's actually not moving. It's just GPS is a little bit inaccurate when you're this close. But you're able to see all these different times here. And that is the UTC time zone, also known as Zulu time. So subtract 7 hours from that to get Utah time. And so I tracked all of these down, and I was able to find that the plane was transponding from 9:05 a.m. until 10:34 a.m. Then it was off. And then at 12:40 p.m., it came back on and turned off again at 1:29 p.m.
Okay, I'm going to repeat that so that everybody understands. We were able to discern from this data as follows. On September 10th, on the day of Charlie's assassination, this plane first transponded from 9:05 a.m. plus 36 seconds until it was turned off at 10:34 a.m. and 5 seconds. Then the plane turned back on, the transponder was turned back on just 17 minutes after Charlie was shot at 12:40 p.m. and 53 seconds, and it stayed on until 1:29 p.m. and 40 seconds. So what was the blue plane doing sitting on the tarmac? We can only...
And that airport's like what, 5 minutes away, I think, from the site that he was assassinated at, right?
Imagine what it was doing, okay? We can run a couple of options here. It's possible that they were just running a maintenance check. Duncan Aviation does offer maintenance repairs. It's therefore possible that it just chose to run some maintenance checks at an unfortunate time, okay? Another possibility is that a military jet, particularly one from a foreign country, would likely be equipped with encrypted satellite-based communications capabilities. If you wanted to make an untraceable phone call, as an example, that would be a good place to do so because only the NSA would be able to intercept that call. And it's pretty obvious that the deep state doesn't seem particularly interested in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So that'd be a safe place to communicate on that plane. Like I said, these are our options. What we can do now, however, is we can add this to our list of verifiable Turning Point USA lies because I'm going to count this as a lie by severe omission. By keeping your mouth shut and allowing Candace to take all the figurative bullets as she points out the oddity of a plane that you guys recognized, okay? My point is that these planes were known to Turning Point USA, and we all deserve to know why they were on the ground on that day, what they were doing on the ground on that day, and also why Turning Point chose to stay mum when every influencer under the sun and every publication attacked me for even mentioning the planes, making it seem like I was dumb, I was stupid. Turning Point USA is able to provide answers to these questions. There is more that I know, by the way, but I want to challenge them to respond to this first. Were these Egyptian military planes familiar to Charlie Kirk? It is a simple yes or no question. And answer it carefully, please, Andrew Colvett, spokesperson for Turning Point USA.
So the doctor who specifically came out and talked about it, he was a plastic surgeon. His name was Dr. Glenn Carlo. Or Glenn Carlo. Yeah, Dr. Glenn Carlo. Oops. So Dr. It's either Gian, it looks like an L. It's either Giancarlo or Glenn Carlo. It looks like Giancarlo or Gian, whatever. I'm gonna look into him quick. Let's continue.
Okay? Because there was something very specific, Andrew, that you told me that happened when you arrived into Provo on the tarmac that day, and it is now playing over and over and over again in my mind, and it isn't adding up. Another point that I'd like to follow up with, Andrew Colvett, let's stick with you, is that in the hospital on that day, you told me, you were in the hospital, that you were told that there was a credible threat against me and Tucker Carlson. Specifically, you told me that me and Tucker Carlson were on a list, and that you were just telling me as a friend that me and Tucker should lay low. And after you told me that, I ended our phone call and I immediately called Tucker Carlson. And I said, hey, terrified, like obviously crying all day, and telling him that he and I have to lay low because there's a credible threat. And it is now really living inside me that you did not tell me who that threat was from. I assumed the feds told you, but I asked you the question, why wouldn't the feds call me directly if there was a threat against my life? No such call has come in.
So when I look up the doctor, he's from Boca Raton, Florida. The same exact logo that's on his shirt that I see on the picture here is on the website. Should we try and call it? Should we try and call the website's number? I found the doctor in his practice. It's in Boca Raton, Florida. So why would a doctor from Boca Raton, Florida speak out about Charlie Kirk's wound when it was in Utah, unless he was in Utah? Or unless it's just not the doctor. When I look up what doctor worked on Charlie Kirk, or what, because it says right here on post on Facebook, the surgeon who fought to keep Charlie alive has finally spoken. And in the picture, it's this guy. Oh. If you guys can even see that. I wonder if I shouldn't try and call it.
How is that possible? How could someone have told you that there was a credible threat and that me and Tucker Carlson should lay low, and yet me and Tucker have since not been notified by any federal agency about those credible threats? Who do those threats come from? Because I gotta tell you, there are a lot of people making videos about me and Tucker Carlson, and none of them are Egyptians, okay? In fact, it's the Israelis. It is Israel that seems deeply upset with me and Tucker Carlson. They are not letting it go. They are making...
Like, why would a doctor who does BBLs and mommy makeovers talk about Charlie's case? I'm going to call real quick. Let's call. Because if this is really the doctor, that's crazy. But this is just a picture I seen on an article, so maybe it's not. But let's see. Let's look into it. This is what we do as reporters. We do our due diligence. Let's see. 561-524-9672. 9672.
Please hold while I try to connect you.
So either I'm going to look like an idiot or we're doing good research. This is supposedly the doctor who spoke out. Hi, Melissa. This is Sheldon from See Me Now Media. I'm just calling to ask a few questions about Is it Dr. Glenn Carlo?
Dr. John Carlo?
Yeah, is that Dr. John Carlo? Is that how you pronounce it? My bad. Well, I'm just calling to ask and see. He allegedly on an article I seen, he was the one that spoke out about Charlie Kirk's gunshot wound.
I'm sorry, where are you calling from?
Well, just an undisclosed location. This is a media company. I'm just calling to ask a few questions if he's really the doctor that talked about Charlie Kirk's wound.
No, I'm not sure that.
Well, I'm just okay. I just see a post on here that says the surgeon spoke out, blah blah, and it has this guy's picture on it. So I was just curious and was gonna ask a couple questions if that's true. Maybe you can let me talk to him.
That's okay. I think that what I can do is I can offer you an email. If you'd like to email any questions in, I'd be more than happy to pass them along.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the email down.
Yeah, okay. It's info, INFO,
Okay.
Dr. DOCTOR Giancarlo GIANCARLO.com.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Don't mean to interrupt you guys' day. I know you guys are probably busy doing BBLs and all that other stuff, but I'll give you guys an email.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but if it's true, like, dude, like, this is like, okay, let me show you what I seen. This is what I pulled up. I mean, like, this is literally the like the post I seen. Maybe it's not true. I'm just following whatever lead I seen, right? Like, this is the guy right here. Why would they just randomly lump this guy's picture in with this? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But just following leads, right?
Threats on every stage, okay? People that are tied to Israel are making threats against me and Tucker Carlson, demanding that we be canceled. So who specifically told you in the hospital room that there was...
I mean, godlike. I'm sorry. I mean, it's funny, though. I mean, like I said, you guys are busy doing BBLs. Which are ugly, by the way. BBLs are nasty. I'm literally just sitting here trying to, like, look into things. Now I'm probably on the FBI's watch list now, damn it. I like how she asked me, where are you from? And it's like, why would I tell you that? Like, just answer my question. Is he the guy that talked about it or what? I want to know the name and the look of the guy who said that Charlie Kirk's neck stopped the freaking 30-06 bullet. And here on Sean Ryan's show, Charlie Kirk's security said that, no, it didn't bounce. It didn't go in his neck and hit the vertebrae and bounce back. It went in his neck, hit the vertebrae, shot down to, what do you say, C6? Like something way down here, and then shattered and fragmented.
was a credible threat against my life. I'm going to need that information, okay? I want to know that now. Because the stakes seem pretty high. I have a lot of questions. This is probably a good time to tell you all that I am starting to piece together another scenario that could have happened. And there was
I like natural booty, okay? Natural booty's my thing, okay? Like, no offense, Candace, you're a very beautiful woman, but I'm pretty sure Candace Owens' body is way better than a lot of other women's that get BBLs and try and look so thick. Like, it's just gross. Like, I like the natural-looking woman who has a nice, fit body, you know what I mean? Like, no shame in the game. Like, get your BBL if you want it. I'm just not into you if that's the case. But who am I? Who am I to say anything, right? I'm no Brad Pitt. No, I'm Sheldon. That's who I am.
And I believe that somebody somewhere knows something about this flight, so pay attention to this. The tail number is N560TW. N560TW. It departed on the morning of September 10th from Scottsdale, Arizona, and it landed into Provo at 10:06 a.m. It then immediately turned around and departed for Santa Barbara. I'm assuming it maybe picked somebody up, and then it departed Santa Barbara at 11:37 a.m. for Scottsdale, landing at 12:44 p.m. There's a chance that you were working at the airport, that you saw somebody that morning. Maybe you were in Santa Barbara, maybe you were in Scottsdale. Somebody saw something, and I'm asking you to email us more tips at CandaceOwens.com. I am interested in that flight. We're not done yet. There's more. I know something else about the Egyptian flights. This time, another mommy sleuth. I learned that oddly, Duncan Aviation, you know, where that plane was transponding from, the FBO in Provo sourced rental cars for these quote unquote Egyptians when they landed a couple of days before this operation. And I didn't just learn that, I actually have the license plates number for 4 of the vehicles that they rented, okay? Honestly, you guys, it brings me great pleasure to deliver this information because now, surely, Tulsi's office can get involved because, you know, those
I'm
darn Egyptian...
gonna go fill my coffee real quick. Yeah, bro, I love strong coffee. I definitely make it like that too, bro. Yeah, we're good, homie. I ain't do nothing too crazy. Took a little bit of bovine colostrum. Don't mind my broken cupboards. We're trying to fix them. We got this. Come on, friend. Yeah, I got the AI tracking camera, and sometimes it's very difficult to remember to fucking shut it off. Okay? My bad. But yeah, I love my strong coffee, bro. It is what it is. 1 minute to super chat goal, $100. Show some love to your boy. I'm gonna do a gym stream here shortly. Um, but yeah, man. I took my bovine colostrum. I take a lot of vitamins in the morning now. Speaking of, I should probably take the rest of mine here in a little bit. I take my methylene blue, bovine colostrum. It is what it is. Yeah, I got a couple cupboards that I opened them, and all of a sudden it's like whatever was holding them together just decided to give out, right? So, donate to help me get new cupboards. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, Candace does not use surrogate parents. Are you, like, seriously? Did you not see that she was pregnant with a big belly? Oh my god. That's why Ian Carroll had to take over for a while. But yeah, I love my strong coffee. Stuff like that. But yeah, now I'm really curious to this whole Charlie Kirk thing, or the whole Timpanogos Hospital thing. Really gonna be looking into stuff like that. Oh yeah, dude. That's why when I say hit the subscribe button, join the family, I don't mean that lightly, bro. I don't forget anybody that's on here. I always make sure I show everybody love. I always make sure I remember everybody because you guys are like a family to me, bro. That my channel's my family, 100%. Like you guys are straight up my family, and like I don't like you guys motivate the shit out of me. So we're going to the top. We're going to the top together. But yeah, man. So let's finish this and then see where we go from here. But I'm gonna keep looking into that. I'm gonna keep looking into the whole Timpanogos thing. I'm looking into the surgeon. I really want to find who it was that was the surgeon. And obviously they probably can't talk, duh. But it's like we can figure something out, right?
They're at it again. Those darn Egyptians. Here are the 4 license plates of the cars that were rented. The first car rented was a silver 2025 Toyota RAV4. The Utah license plate number is T092ZS. The second car was a white 2025 Toyota Camry. Arizona license plate, CWN-N872. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys this in a spreadsheet. The third car was a white 2023 Toyota RAV4. Utah license plate number TN12KM. The fourth was a black 2025 Toyota 4Runner. Utah license plate number Z923DA. To the students at UVU, do we have this somewhere? Did you pull it up or just did you show them it on the screen? I didn't see what you showed them. Okay, cool. License plates were shown. Now to the students at UVU, please check your phones, your pictures from that day, because if any of those cars were seen at UVU or around campus on that day, then we're going to be able to suspect something else. Check if you hotels, maybe gas station, maybe you work somewhere. Look at those lights, look for those plates during that time frame from when those cars were there until they departed. Somebody will be able to connect the dots somewhere. And of course, the email address to send it to is moretips@candaceowens.com. It's only Monday, folks. I've actually discovered a lot more, but it's only Monday. So let's take a break. All right, you guys, too many people have been vilified for standing up for the truth, obviously. So that's that's very obvious that I have no doubt.
By the way, what kind of supplements you guys taking, man? We're not in the algorithm that much today. Bro, I be on So I take a metabolism gummy, 2 vitamin D3 gummies, Ultimate CMOS, 2 capsules, Nitric Boost, 2 capsules, fish oil, 1 capsule, methylene blue, and bovine colostrum. That's 7 things I take in the morning. Crazy. Brain Force Plus, hell yeah. Yeah, as you guys can see from my sweater, that's where I'm getting my stuff from.
Out that Tucker Carlson and I are being threatened. That's pretty obvious. It's very obvious that nobody thinks Egypt is behind it. You know, the last time that narrative ran was probably the USS Liberty. That was the plan, right? To make us think Egypt had attacked us. But it wasn't actually Egypt that attacked that ship. It was Israel. Israel attacked that ship. Israel is growing increasingly alarming in terms of legislation that they're trying to get passed, trying to censor our speech, trying to take over social media campaigns. Bibi Netanyahu's name checking me and Tucker Carlson, and all of their sycophants are on stage calling us out. So I'm going to...
Do I see a difference taking those? To be honest with you, yeah, the methylene blue, like, I started it like 2 months ago. 2.5 months ago, and yeah, dude, like, I have to take it every morning. Like, I notice, like, more clarity and focus. Like, it's more like I can, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm a person that, like, I'm focused on a lot of different things. I have a lot of things that go through my head. And methylene blue definitely helps. You gotta get the right kind though. Don't get the diluted bull crap that they try and sell you. Get the real stuff. You'll know it's real when it's super dark. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not telling you to do anything that will, like, but like, yeah, I definitely notice a difference when it comes to, you know, I definitely notice a difference, especially when it comes to like mental clarity with the methylene blue. I just started the Irish CMOS. I'm 3 days in, so we'll see how that goes. The way I'm really gonna know if it helps is I've been out at the gym for about 2 months because of my back. I just called and got my key reactivated, so I'm gonna be going today, and I'm going to be doing gym streams and gym vlogs and shit. Because that's a big part of my life is health and wellness. Even though I smoke cigarettes, everybody's gonna sit there and say, "Well, you smoke cigarettes, so you're lying." Shut the fuck up, okay? Um, that's what's really gonna make me tell. So like when I'm working out and like recovery and what helps me when I work out, like that's what's gonna be the key of like helping me know. But just me in general, right now, the way I am, yeah, I notice a lot. The bovine colostrum, I notice my gut feels a lot better. Like I don't feel bubble guts or nothing like that. You really, it's all different for different people. Like everybody has different experiences. But for one thing that I will stand by, the methylene blue, and Alex just came out with what's called methylene red. It's supposed to like coincide with the methylene blue and help boost its effects. Again, I'm no doctor, but I ordered it to see what's up with it and how it works. And this is what it looks like. Let's see. Can I get a picture of it here? But yeah, I definitely take all that, and it makes me feel good. I also smoke, but um you need a workout, buddy? Well, I'm starting today. I'm the heaviest I've ever been. I'm a fat tub of crap right now, and I need to get it together. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the gym today, cut the stream a little short, stream again tomorrow. And not only that, but the gym helps me a lot more with my mental clarity, my discipline, my temper, like everything, like just helps me all around. So we're definitely gonna get it in and run it up. But yeah, definitely take those subs, man. The methylene blue, I do not. Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym here probably about an hour, hour and a half, and I think I'll do a vlog there, or I'll I'll do a live. I got to start doing more side content, like more shorts, more vlogs, you know, but when you stream for 5 to 6 hours a day, it's a little bit it's a little bit rough to kind of, you know, balance everything. So I should, you know, I cut my streaming time down from 5 hours to like 2.5, and then spend 2.5 hours making videos. So that's what I should do, because this is my full-time job. As you guys know, my job fired me for my YouTube. And so now that I said, fuck it. One door shuts, one door opens. I'm pursuing my dream, and I'm going full on into this. I bought 2 MacBooks, my MacBook Pro, or my MacBook Air, then my MacBook Pro, which is what the live stream's working on. Got this setup going, and we're just running it up, bro. So it is what it is. Thank you very much, God. Like, that's what I mean, though. Like, that's what I'm building. This community on this channel is like a family to me, and we're all like-minded people. We all have a lot of things in common. We all want the truth. Not only that, but we all want a good, awesome community that's united, not divided like this stupid fucking situation we have going on right now, you know? And I feel like that's why I'm growing so quick, and we're having such a good turnout on this channel, because I'm genuine. I'm a genuine, transparent person who sits here and wants to build a good community that helps others and continues to grow and you know, unite people. So you don't like it, then go. But if that's what you're searching for and that's what you like, join up, because I don't forget anybody. I always remember everybody. I always give everybody their flowers and give everybody their respect and attention, just like you guys do to me. So
Connect that dot there. And like I said, there was more I know about those planes. But your move, Turning Point USA, because that's the last time you're going to have me gaslit about something and sit by idly and pretend you know nothing. It's interesting, too, because in a typical scenario, when somebody's murdered in broad daylight and they have, like, you know, $100 million organization behind them, it's common sense that you should check the people that work at that organization. Like, that's like the first people that you should begin to investigate. So we reject your naval intelligence psychological operation where you tell us that that's a weird thing to do, okay? It's always somebody close to you. And if there's a financial motive, yeah. And I would say an organization of that size
100%,
that
God,
misses
like 100%.
their deadline, their tax
Love
deadline
you,
for
brother.
the first time, that's a little weird. Yes, they did. A YouTube channel known as Wolves and Finance did a report on this, which I'm going to show. Now, this wasn't people that I was working with, and there is somebody else that I told you that I'm going to have on my show that has been looking into this for a while. But this was extremely well done and at least brought forth some big questions that I think are on a lot of people's minds. How does an organization that size just miss the, not just that they filed for an extension and then miss the extension deadline to file? Let's take a listen to a part of what they had to say.
Let's go look at the 990 forms that Turning Point USA submits to the IRS every year. These contain their annual financial statements. When you look at the forms, there are some very strange anomalies. Several of the 990 forms are missing. Turning Point USA lists 4 related entities. There's Turning Point USA, Turning Point Endowment, Turning Point Action, and America's Turning Point. All different organizations do slightly different things. The Form 990 for fiscal year 2024 is posted for Turning Point USA, but it is missing for all the other 3 organizations. It looks like it was never turned in. This is a massive red flag. So Tyler Boyer is being snarky on X.com and telling people to go look at the annual financial audit, but the financial audit is missing from last year for 3 of the 4 organizations. This strange decision to hide their financial statements happened 4 months before Charlie Kirk was murdered. I will repeat for clarity. Someone at Turning Point decided not to file 3 of the 4 of their annual financial statements 4 months before Charlie Kirk appointed a new COO, requested a new audit, and was murdered. Those 3 financial statements are still missing.
So to be clear, that was another point that they gaslit me on when I told you that it was unusual that 7 days before Charlie died, he said that he wanted to establish Doge, right? Tyler came out and lied, and he said, this is just totally regular. And Alex Clark said, oh, every year since I've been here, this is what we do. And the guy starts this video by being like, you have to be an idiot to accept that as an answer. Of course, doing an audit has nothing to do with internally establishing a Doge, right? He recognized that something was wrong at the organization. And as I told you, okay, because I do not miss on these things, he was not just concerned about where the money was going, he was concerned about where it was coming from. And what I can tell you about Charlie is that if Charlie got clued into something, if Charlie was at first trusting his lieutenant and then he suddenly said, wait a second, what's going on over here? And he decided that he wanted to figure something out, he would have figured that ish out by sundown, okay? That is how brilliant he was. If it had his attention, he would have figured it out by sundown. What did Charlie discover is my question, okay? Now, to correct something that he says there. He says 4 months before. That's the regular tax deadline. It is actually normal. It is for big companies to file for a tax extension, but they missed that deadline as well. I think that was October 15th was a tax extension deadline. They have missed them both, and that is completely abnormal. And he is correct. If you go back and you look at Turning Point USA's filings before, they always file all of them at the same time. So this is unusual that they've left off 3 of them. And I'm going to let him get into a deeper clip here where he discusses the quote unquote missing $8.6 million. Take a listen.
Let us look at the one financial statement we do have for fiscal year 2024 for Turning Point USA. Schedule I shows grants and other assistance to organizations, governments, and individuals in the United States. This schedule shows you where Turning Point is sending its money. We see that a lot of money, $8,560,625, is being sent to America's Turning Point.
Holy shit.
They are sending it to their own shell company. Now, this is not necessarily illegal, except for the fact that the financial statement for the other organization is missing. We cannot see how...
God, like Marlene's in the chat saying, stop listening to Candace. She's lying. She's chasing... she's chasing ghosts. Stop listening to Candace. Go listen to Sean Ryan and the security guard talk on Sean Ryan, because he's just holy as thou and telling the whole truth. That's what she's saying. The security guard said all we need to know. Well, Marlene, if you didn't already know, I was going to get into the Sean Ryan interview after this. Sorry, but just because the security guy could sum up a couple tears and do a Sean Ryan interview doesn't mean I believe everything he freaking says, okay? And shout out to him. I feel sorry for what he had to go through, but I don't care. I'm a realist. I'm going to search for whatever I can. If there's something that's fucked up in some areas, I'm definitely going to search on it and look at it and observe it and see what's true about it, okay? I look at all angles. We'll get into that when I get into it.
This $8.6 million is being spent. This is very important because there are strange variances around this money. I have pulled the last 5 years of 990 forms for Turning Point USA. Here's a table with contributions compared with the largest expense, which are the grants from Schedule I. You can immediately see a strange dip between 2022 and 2023. This dip happens because in prior years, they were sending money to Turning Point Endowment. They were transferring millions of dollars. This stopped in 2021, and they started ramping up sending money to America's Turning Point. Let's break this down. First of all, I find it really unethical that they were sending millions of dollars to their own endowment. I know that a lot of nonprofits do this, but I think it is unethical. Do the donors know this is how Turning Point is spending their money? Turning Point USA is taking in donations and then sending the money to their endowment to invest in the stock market. In my opinion, they should be spending donations on operating their nonprofit, not on buying investments. As of fiscal year 2023, they had $61 million of assets in the endowment, which was generating $1.9 million a year of investment income. Personally, I think that's an unethical way to run a nonprofit, but that's just my opinion. But what is important here is what happened to the missing $8.6 million, the amount sent to America's Turning Point in fiscal year 2024. The amount of money sent to America's Turning Point was getting larger and larger, and because the financial statements are missing, we cannot tell how this money was spent. If we look at the prior year, the majority of the money was spent on other salaries and wages. How is this possible when America's Turning Point reports 0 employees? Does anyone else think that sounds a little suspicious? In my opinion, what I think is happening is I think there are fake people on the payroll. I think that paychecks are getting sent to people who do not really exist. And that would explain why we have a company with 0 employees with millions of dollars of salary expense.
Yeah, that sounds highly suspicious to me, especially when you add in the fact that Charlie wanted to establish a Doge 7 days before he died, when you also add in the fact that they're all telling strange lies, when you also add in the fact that there was this weird psychological campaign to tell us not to look at Turning Point USA, or we're going to go to hell.
So if they... That's insane. So if they had... This is a $100 million company. So if they have Turning Point USA, then they have all these sub-companies, and they're making, like, what was it, America's Turning Point? And they write down that they're paying employees that aren't there as a tax write-off to therefore then just take the money. They're doing what Donald Trump's doing. No, I'm kidding. But that's crazy, dude. Like, So basically, they're laundering money.
Hell, essentially, they're like using biblical passage to tell us why it's not moral. Do they think we are this soft and persuadable? Like, do we look like the kinds of people that are just gonna watch an assassination in broad daylight and just let it go because some influencers insist that we do? No, sorry. It's not 1963. You're not gonna get away with it this time. Anyways, he then goes on to describe how they conducted their own audit using a firm called Baker Tilly. I'll let him take it away.
What about Tyler Boyer's argument that they have an annual financial audit every year? If what I'm saying is true, why wouldn't their annual audit catch these issues? The annual financial audit for Turning Point USA, Inc. and its affiliates was performed by an accounting firm called Baker Tilly. In the notes, they explain that they audited Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, Turning Point Endowment, America's Turning Point, and TP USA Merch. That usually means they audited all the shell companies when they provided their opinion that the statements present fairly in all material respects. That means it is a clean audit with no problems. I wonder if Baker Tilly will provide an explanation why they can issue a flawless audit report when 3 990 forms were never filed with the IRS. And just to clarify, Baker Tilly's audit opinion letter is signed after Turning Point missed the filing date with the IRS. So there is no excuse for Baker Tilly not to mention this in their audit opinion. Erica Kirk assumed the role of CEO of Turning Point USA on September 18th, 2025, 8 days after Charlie Kirk was murdered. She has been the CEO for almost 2 months. She needs to answer these questions. If someone has lied on the 990 form, people go to jail for that. I want some explanation of why Turning Point USA sent $8.6 million to their shell company and then did not file financial statements. And Erica, I don't know who does the accounting at Turning Point, but if they have not been telling you about any of this, you need to fire your accountants immediately.
I think all valid points. And again, just to modify, it is possible that when they used that outside auditor, that they showed them all of the documentation and then they gave them a clean bill of health. And then for whatever reason, Turning Point decided not to file. It's possible. Okay. Like I said, probably a low probability, but it is plausible that they did that. But it is just a fact that they missed the filing extension deadline. So what's going on here? Where did the 8.5 million go? And what's also compelling about this video, which we didn't show, is that he clarifies that Turning Point USA actually decreased their staff, the 501c3 arm, 33%. By 33%, there was a 33% staff reduction. And yet the cost of salaries somehow went up. And to him, that looks suspicious. And I agree, that looks suspicious, right? And this, of course, is the kind of pressure that needs to be put on them. Yes, I said it was a very bad idea right off the bat for Erica, who's grieving her husband, to then instantly become a chairman and the CEO, because these are valid questions now that people are asking. And a chairman and a CEO is going to have to respond to those questions. You have to answer these questions when people are asking about money, especially given the fact that so many people, I mean, they cleared over $70 million in the first couple of weeks after Charlie was assassinated. Okay, that's a lot of well-meaning people that are giving money to this organization who are now learning how this organization functions by routing the bulk of their money, or to a lot of their money rather, not the bulk of it, into their endowment fund, right? That is not okay. We deserve answers to the questions that we are asking, and we're going to keep asking them. Okay, we are going to keep asking them because I know there are snakes at Turning Point USA, and I'm going to reveal more to you guys tomorrow. First, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some comments and answers to your questions. All right, you guys, in all the time that I've been endorsing my wireless company, Pure Talk, I've never seen an offer like this. Right now, you can get unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data with a 30-gig hotspot for just $20.
All right, guys, sorry about that. I'm asking ChatGPT some stuff. All right. So, why did... Can we continue my fucking thing here? Why did it take away my chats? Okay, it is what it is. We're going to get into stuff later. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to get off. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to make some other content. Today's stream is going to be cut a little bit short. I will be on tomorrow. Make sure you guys show some love and support by sending through your donations. If you want to get your name on the donor wall, send through your donations. I do have a goal out, $20 and above, $10 or 10 super chat goal. So I am going to plug the channel real quick. Like I I haven't done this in a few days, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. Anyone want to send their super chats through? Any super chat gets your name written on the wall, but I do have a goal of 10 super chats, $20 and higher. But any color super chat gets your name written on the wall. Any color, so $1 and up. All right, I started the timer. Let's get going. Ugh, I haven't done this in a while. So if anyone wants to get their name written on the super chat wall, just send through your super chats to show some love and support. I got the marker right here. Also, if you want to support me further, become a member of the channel. Tier 1 is a See Me Now Soldier. Tier 2 is a See Me Now General. Get your name written down on the See Me Now banner behind me if you become a member. Shout out all the members. Shout out Shadow Patriot and everybody else. I'll definitely do an extra rep for you, brother. Cindy, you have a good afternoon as well. God bless you guys, man. I always got to plug the channel, though. But don't you see the wall is filling up with names? We are doing it. I remember when we just had a few names on here, and it was like, God, watch. People aren't going to want to support me, and we're not going to fill this wall up. And look at it. It's full. It's damn near full. We're going to have to move on to other walls in the room. This is the super chat room, though, man. I'm going to fill up the whole damn room with names. This whole room, all 4 walls, is going to get filled up with donor names. It's going to have to be how it is. But I always got to plug the channel, man. Like I said, this is my job. I'm chasing my dreams. And you guys always show love and support. And I couldn't be any more thankful and motivated to continue to do this because I have the best community on YouTube. Excuse me. Welcome in, freshman. But yeah, man. Shout out to Shadow Patriot, Natalie, Jay, Fretlam. I can barely speak English, so I'm sure you'd love to argue with me. Sorry. All right, guys. We have 3 minutes on the dot. Anyone want to send through their super chats? Get your name written down on the super chat wall. Show some love and support. I love the smell of Sharpies. Oh, for sure, man. Like I said, you guys do not have to send super chats through. Your subscriptions and your likes are enough. But as you guys know, your super chats and your donations help me continue my journey on going to 100,000 subs and doing this podcast Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 2:30. So any money helps. It helps me continue to be able to grow and expand the studio, and it also helps me continue to, pursue the truth full time. So, yeah, the merch is gonna be coming out soon. It's gonna be fucking sick. I can't wait to start. Yo, when I drop the merch and you guys buy it, you're gonna have to literally send me pictures of you guys wearing it because I want to post it. Like, it's gonna be dope. Well, 2 worlds. I'm sorry, but I always have to use cuss words. It's just in my language. Minute 30 left on the super chat goal. Anyone want to send through a super chat? Get your name on the super chat wall. Show some love and support. Well, bam. It is looking nice. So it's such a cool look though behind me. It's like the banner with the names on the banner that are all members, and then I got the donors around it, and I think it's pretty cool. Nah, bro. Like I said, you're good. No one is forced to super chat. It's just people who want to do the. Like I said, earlier, you guys subscribing and liking is all that I need. It helps us grow and it helps us continue to get to 100,000 subs. You guys sending donations is a blessing, and blessings are not, the blessings are not given; they're earned, right? So blessings aren't just entitled. Like, I'm not entitled to them. I earn them. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm very grateful to anyone who does show love and support. Like, it's not like it's necessary for you to send money. Your subscriptions and your likes are enough. I just you know, have to plug my channel to continue going on. And like I said, anything other than a subscription like is a blessing, and blessings aren't given, they're earned. All right, guys, there is the timer. Yeah, the Eagles coming soon. This is one of my old banners, so, but I still love it, man. I love my banner. Don't hate on my banner. But all right, guys, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you to everybody who's been tuning in and showing love and support. Tomorrow we're gonna run it up. Might go live later, but not on desk stream or desktop. So, but it's always a good time chilling with you guys and being on here, pursuing truth and covering these topics. And I do have a show coming soon, an actual planned out like type show, to where it's not just going to be all the way it is now. So stay tuned and make sure you hit your notification bell for when I go live on the other format, because we're not always going to be doing this vertical thing. We're going to start going live the other way and doing shows a different way. So much love to everybody, man. God, like, thanks for having me today. Good time showing with you as usual. Have a good day, my brother. You have a good day as well, brother. Love you. God bless. Stay safe. See you on the next stream. It's always good showing with you guys too.